podcast. The Erroneous Podcast. The Erroneous Podcast. The Erroneous Podcast. The Erroneous Podcast.
Disclaimer: The Erroneous Podcast hosted by Jay and Drifter is not responsible for any confusion, frustration, or loss of sanity that may occur as a result of listening. The views expressed by Jay and Drifter on this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the sane and rational members of society, your mother, your boss, your therapist, or that one person who always leaves negative comments on your social media posts. Side effects of listening may include but are not limited to head scratching, shock, awe, sudden urge to run for political office, an increased thirst for knowledge, a sudden urge to argue with strangers, and occasional moments of profound enlightenment. Also, please note that some of the content may be inappropriate for sensitive ears, and listener discretion is advised. Remember folks, it's just a podcast. No actual political experts were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Hello. Looks like Drifter's having some audio issues. What's going on, people?
Sorry, I had my mic muted. What's up, Jay?
Oh, not much. Another Thursday. Almost there. See Nicole and Arizak over on Rumble. Jenny over on Trovo. How are y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, cheers, folks. Should be live everywhere.
We had a late start, obviously. Shit happens. And we'll not apologize for it.
How's everybody doing? Hopefully, well. Got a lot to go over tonight.
Might be a short show, honestly, but
Yeah.
we can stretch it out.
What do we got coming in first?
Depression and anxiety. Oh, you mean the news?
Oh,
Here, let's get into it then. This is from AP News. We're making up for lost time. Fox opposes fellow journalist trying to uncover documents. Posted yesterday. It's from New York. Fox News is opposing a renewal effort by 3 news organizations to unseal documents related to its recently settled defamation lawsuit, saying it would do nothing but gratify private spite or promote public scandal. The Associated Press, the New York Times, and National Public Radio asked a Delaware judge earlier this week to reveal mostly private text messages and conversations between Fox employees shortly after the 2020 presidential election. The information was uncovered during the Domino's Pizza during the Dominion voting system lawsuit. Really? Fox lawyer Catherine L. Mowry, in a letter sent to Delaware Superior Court Judge Eric Davis and accepted by the court Thursday, said much of the material its competitors sought wasn't relevant to the issue of the lawsuit. Some material from the vast trove of evidence that Dominion gathered has already been released and proved newsworthy, showing that Fox hosts and executives didn't believe the false allegations about Dominion's voting equipment, but still continued to air them. Some messages revealed former Fox host Tucker Carlson's scorn for former President Donald Trump, including one text where he declared, "I hate him passionately." Wow, spicy. They have not been shy about sharing the communications with the most potential to grab headlines, Mowry wrote of the media challenging the sealed documents. One of the reasons Fox agreed to settle the case was to buy peace and bring an end to the media spectacle, she wrote. It really wasn't you know what's been a spectacle? Them settling. We didn't really hear anything about it till they settled.
You're right.
David McCaw, Senior Vice President, Deputy General Counsel at the New York Times, said the newspaper was disappointed by Fox's continued opposition. Fox's lawyers argued that unsealing the court documents will harm journalism and undermine the First Amendment, when in fact the best interests of the public and journalism are served by judicial transparency, not secrecy, McCaw said. While it's standard for journalists to want as much information as possible to be made public, it's also not surprising Fox would want to keep it under wraps, said Lucy Dalglish, dean of the Philip Merrill College of Journalism at the University of Maryland. "I'd be shocked if Fox said, 'Sure, let me give it to you. Have fun,'" Dalglish said. So it looks like Dominion's trying to unseal court documents from the lawsuit, and some of those documents have private text messages between correspondents, and some of those text messages are in direct contradiction to the statements that they were making on air. I still don't believe that Dominion's in the clean, although I mean, allegedly, right? Like, we're just a little podcast, leave us alone. But seriously, like I just don't believe that was all in the up and up, and Fox buckled, but now it just seems like they're doing a victory lap on them.
I agree. They also just fired Geraldo. So there's this huge media purge happening right now, and I don't know exactly what for, but I'll dig more into it. But yeah, Geraldo. He's been on, and I haven't been a fan of his, but I'm just saying he's been on Fox for years and years. And along with Tucker, now they've just cut him. So I don't know. And he was the one years back who had, I forgot what it was. It was a situation where he was going to expose some secret. This is going to sound really weird, but for those of y'all who know what I'm talking about, you'll probably be able to help me out on this. It was a gangster. Al Capone, I believe, is who it was. And apparently there was this huge Al Capone room that he had concreted off. And Geraldo got the lead on that story and was hyping it up for weeks and weeks and weeks. And they did it live in the 80s, early 90s, unsealing this like new, I think it was Al Capone, don't quote me, but someone like Al Capone. They were unsealing this room, which was supposedly to contain all this, loot and who knows what.
Nothing was
valuable art. Nothing was in it, and it ruined his career.
Well, okay. I was going to say, do you think that maybe they found it and then took everything out of it before they aired it?
I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, I mean, if that hurt his career, then probably not. This was all set up. Hey, Maticus is in the house. Looks like he's been practicing his First Amendment rights. He says, "Fucking Fridays here. Here we come. I stood outside with my sign in a high traffic area today for 4 hours. If you took the shot, I'm sorry. If you gave it, you will die." Ooh, that's a chilling message. But yeah, a lot of crazy shit coming out with that. Jenny's over there. Hey, Jenny. Yeah, if you like us, put a thumb on it. And Sam Crow's in the house. How are you doing tonight? Sam Crow 69 over there on Rumble.
What up, Sam? Everyone else, cheers.
Okay, so did you say Geraldo Rivera has gotten kicked off Fox? Is that what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now things are even weirder because Tucker's the odd man out in that situation. Well, Tucker and Bongino, but you have Tucker, Bongino, Rivera, and Lemon. That's going to be a hell of a podcast, by the way. I don't even know where I have to come up with a name for that one.
Well, I've been getting a lot of notifications from prominent groups calling for Tucker to accept the Value Entertainment contract. It's $100 million over 5 years. He gets a board seat, um, director of the company. I mean, honestly, unless there's something holding him back or a better offer, I don't know why I don't take it.
I'd like to see who owns Valuetainment at the top.
I can't remember what's the Latino guy's name. I watch him a lot. He's got a lot of good guests on. They cover a lot of good stuff.
Does Alex
I
Jones
can't
call him
remember his
out?
name. I don't know, but he's on Rumble. The whoever I'm talking about on Value Entertainment. I cannot remember the guy's name right now. It's not important.
I kind of. Oh, it's like they don't have a website. Who are these people? See, this is the thing. I don't even know who Valuetainment is, really. I just know the CEO from.
I catch some YouTube clips from this one particular channel off of. Is it Valuetainment? Is that what it is?
I don't know. They don't. Events, join, story about us. Maybe the about us. I just wanted to see who their correspondents were.
Who I'm talking about is this guy right here. This guy right here. What's his name?
Don't show 'em.
I'm about to share my screen. This guy right here. This is the guy I always see. He pops up almost daily.
Yeah, I know. It's not who I was thinking of, but I don't know his name.
Whoever that guy is who I always see from Value.
Okay.
Value. I don't even know how to fucking say that.
I think you tell me how to say it. It's Valuetainment, right? Are we saying it wrong? Or
I don't know.
Value
Valuetainment. Yeah. I don't know.
But
that guy. Anyways, Tucker's going to replace him because that's their top talent right now. Is that fellow? So I'm curious to see how it all plays out. I don't know.
Yeah, if he does, if he goes independent and he just opens, I mean, he wouldn't just do Rumble, but if he did a Rumble channel, he did his own like independent thing, multicasting, be pretty dope. I mean, the platform would benefit, so I guess it's a little selfish, but
right. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Rob Schmidt, Fox News is in full panic mode. Okay.
No impact whatsoever. If you take a look, 2 weeks ago, two major names in cable news were fired on the same day, Tucker and CNN's Don Lemon. The staggering difference in impact between these two dismissals is astounding. At 8 p.m. on Fox, the ratings halved. And in the advertising coveted 25 to 54 demographic, it's far worse, a 75% decline without Tucker Carlson at 8 p.m. in the demo. Fox is in full panic mode, and that's why they're maliciously leaking, which is hurting them even more. Over at CNN, the loss of Don Lemon, who was reportedly making $7 million a year, has had literally no impact whatsoever. If you take a look at CNN this morning during the 7 a.m. hour, April.
That is a good point, though. The comparison between the impact that Lemon has leaving CNN versus the impact that Tucker has leaving Fox News is, I'll think of a word, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, MSNBC and Rachel Maddow took the primetime ratings top spot ever since Tucker's left, which will probably continue to happen because Fox News doesn't have any decent talent. They all fucking suck.
Yeah. The CNN 7 a.m. Monday ratings. Guys, there's 330 million people in this country, legal U.S. citizens, and their ratings are lower than some Rumble channels on a given stream. It's pretty impressive.
Even ours.
Yeah. Free Lumby's in the house. What's going on? I'm fading fast. Gonna let the sweet sound of societal collapse sing me to sleep. All right. Well, we will do what we can to send you off to dreamland with news of horror and debauchery. Fox Money. Let's see what's going on here. It's from Isaac's Army. I think I figured out why Fox News fired Tucker Carlson. Sounds like he no longer wanted to drink the company's Kool-Aid. They said this is in regards to
Found out
BlackRock.
that information in BlackRock owns 45 million shares of Fox, which represents 15% of the company. We found out that information in February. And just before that, Tucker Carlson reacted to a video of the president of Ukraine thanking BlackRock for quote-unquote rebuilding Ukraine. And
We've played all of this on the show in different parts. You remember all this?
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson has consistently covered the corruption going on in Ukraine. 1 month later, he's gone. He also said this on a podcast.
Not only are they part of the problem, but I spent most of my life being part of the problem, defending the Iraq War. Like, I actually did that. Can you imagine if you did that?
Well, what do you think? What is one of your biggest regrets in your career?
Oh, defending the Iraq War.
That is it?
Well, I've had a million regrets, not being more skeptical, calling people names when I should have listened to what they were saying. For too long, I participated in the culture where I was like, anyone who thinks outside these pre-prescribed lanes is crazy, is a conspiracy theorist. And I just really regret that. I'm ashamed that I did that.
Isn't that what the media tries to do, though?
It's their only purpose.
Right.
They're not here to inform you, really. Even on the big things that really matter, like the economy and war and COVID and like things that really matter that will affect you. No, their job is not to inform you. They are working for the small group of people who actually run the world. They're their servants, they're their Praetorian Guard, and we should treat them with maximum contempt because they have earned it.
All right, so he might have gotten fired for that.
Could have. There's a lot of speculation going into all this. Nobody fucking knows. Everybody just talks.
That's true too. That's all we got time for is talking. All right, this is from Yahoo Finance. Messi talks for $400 million Saudi deal, Telegraph says. Saudi Arabia is preparing to offer football star Lionel Messi a $400 million annual contract to play with the Saudi Pro League this summer, the Telegraph reported. The deal, which is being negotiated by Messi's father, would far exceed the more than $200 million deal Cristiano Ronaldo signed to play in Saudi Arabia until the summer of 2025. The Argentine World Cup champion was suspended on Tuesday by his current club, Paris Saint-Germain, for 2 weeks after traveling to Saudi Arabia without permission from the organization. Messi had previously agreed to a deal in principle to stay with PSG, but following the disciplinary action, he will not renew his contract, BBC reported. The potential signing would be the latest move by Saudi Arabia to upend the world of professional sports. In addition to the recent signing of Ronaldo, the country has financed the LIV Golf League, and its sovereign wealth fund purchased Premier League club Newcastle United. So they're buying up all the soccer leagues. I don't know what Premier League club Newcastle United is, but that's a soccer league. Golf.
They're signing Messi. Sorry, he's like one of the top talents.
Yeah,
huge fucking contract.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's plus that, like, I mean, he just got. Well, I mean, he got in trouble for going over there. I wonder what that's about. Was he going over there to shop around, and then they caught on to him and they suspended him, and he was like, "Well, fuck." I actually watched a video about him the other day that he's a little slow. I don't know. I got a heart for the guy. But no, like he's. I don't know. I don't watch football or anything, but
I don't either.
it's a big contract, and Saudi is making moves to do all this type of entertainment stuff over there, Saudi Arabia, because just last year, and I think September, Steve Will Do It had just joined Rumble. Andrew Tate and both of them had just joined Rumble. Andrew Tate had just started doing his emergency meetings, and he was bringing on like Sneeko and like all these other people on these meetings, and so they were all getting together in Saudi Arabia, and they had I'm drawing blanks now. The UFC guy was there, WWE guy was there, Trump was there, Rumble executives were there,
Dana and Vince McMahon.
Yes, they were, and the Logan brothers, the Paul brothers, whichever name comes first. Those brothers were there. I mean, it was whatever was going on over there for like a week or two was a big deal, and they were all kind of like rubbing shoulders and elbows, and not all of them are on the same side of what I mean. Unless the field could be fake. We always have to assume that, but they, yeah, I mean, they don't seem like all of the people that were there get along very well. But they were all hanging out at the same place. So I don't know what that was, but now they're buying up sports teams. So this is weird.
I remember you bringing that up. I don't know what that's about. But, I mean, I do know that a lot of business people are meeting up in Bahrain. It just could have been coincidence, but probably not.
Yeah, I mean, just like a party week over there.
Yeah, if it smells like bullshit, it probably is.
Well, I actually kind of assumed it was some kind of secret meeting to take over the internet culture. And then here we are a half a year later, and I don't know. I mean, have they or are they? Maybe I'm wrong. Sometimes I read into things. This is we're still in. Fuck it. We're becoming an internet entertainment news channel.
I'm trying to be quiet, dude. I'm sorry.
Why? What are you doing over there?
We're still in entertainment category.
Oh, no, I was joking, man. Look, I'm actually enjoying this. I'm my bad. I put a couple of those in there just for the record. It wasn't, but no. As I was making jokes the past couple episodes of how we're not going to grow our entertainment section, but now it's like, whatever. Vaxxed Jamie Foxx shows proof life weeks after hospitalized for strokes, blood clots.
This is from InfoWars, but did anybody even hear about this? I did, just because I'm signed up. Yeah, I'm one of those.
The Jamie Foxx newsletter? Oh, the InfoWars.
No, the InfoWars newsletter. But did y'all even know that he had a stroke?
No.
Did y'all know that he was fighting for his life, Jamie Foxx? Did y'all know that? Well, according to them.
Now that he's better. Yeah, that's a good point, according to InfoWars. But it's not like I don't think they're liars.
It's mainstream though. I did hear about this on some other, avenues where he really did have a stroke. He really is in the hospital, but it's just strange because he's a young man.
And they do put the vax thing first. But the postmarks so he made a post up here. Hold on, let's see. Appreciate all the love, feeling blessed. Appreciate all the love. The 55-year-old entertainment wrote on Instagram Wednesday, adding feeling blessed. So that's, by the way, this is the proof of life that they're saying is proving that he's okay now. Is an Instagram post of a black picture with emojis. But the post marks Fox's first public comments since his hospitalization in April. Fox was hospitalized suddenly for a serious medical complication back in April 11 while filming a Netflix movie in Atlanta. A source claimed last month Fox required resuscitation. Jamie suffered a serious medical episode and needed immediate attention. It was touch and go for days with him, and we had to be revived. He is very lucky to be alive, the source reportedly told Radar Online. He's very lucky he got the treatment he needed, the source said. Jamie suffers from high blood pressure, which doctors say can cause clots in the brain, leading to a stroke. Doctors believe this was a long time coming, and really, if they hadn't acted fast, Jamie might well have been a goner. The actor's condition appeared to be improving last month, with reports claiming he was awake and alert, but requests for prayers from friends and family over the weekend renewed concerns over his condition. So his family's urging for prayers last weekend, and then now we're getting a proof of life message. My money's on he's already.
Well, I don't know, but kind of reminds me of something that they did with an NFL star. It's just too soon, and then
that's a good point too.
They had to resuscitate him. That's fucking serious. For someone as young as he is, and I don't think I included any statistics, but y'all have all seen it. If y'all are watching on Rumble, or if y'all are an audience member that's watching on Trovo that's watched the Erroneous podcast, I feel like y'all already understand it. There's something going on here. I don't know what it is, but something ain't right.
Yeah, I was watching Just Mac's show today or yesterday. I can't remember. He was going over some stuff that you can do to clean out your body. And I think that even if you guys, if anybody out there is like, haha, I didn't take it. Well, guess what? Chances are you don't grow your own food. And even then, if you do, you probably feed them some shit you bought at the store. So at this point, we're all like, I don't think anybody's dodged anything. And I think we should all be cleaning out our systems as much as possible and do a colon cleanse. It'll be good for you.
Sam Crow says on InfoWars, that is, of course, the Erroneous Podcast is my other favorite show. Well, I appreciate that, but they were. He was also talking about info. What did he say up there? He said 90% of everybody on Rumble gets their news from InfoWars nowadays. They're the only ones that are credible. Isn't that fucking nuts?
That is kind of nuts. Yeah, they've got like 4 or 5 channels running their live stream on Rumble, and all of them always have like thousands of viewers. It's even when they're doing their replays.
Yeah, they are who they are. I mean, they got that clout. They're going to get that following and those numbers. That doesn't surprise me a bit, but I'd just like to point out that all this shit is depressing.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Bring it down a little bit. I drank too many energy drinks for this. Shit.
He's on uppers. I'm on downers. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm drinking beer right now. I don't even give a fuck.
We're writing a sitcom over here. Are we going to be okay?
I'm good.
Do we need a minute?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, take care of your bodies.
Yeah, beer probably isn't your best bet, and I'm not your best role model, but I'm just saying, God damn it.
24.
It is what it is. Cheers.
Cheers. It's not beer, but whatever. Let's not sink into nihilism. Let's do our best to rage against the dying of the light here, people. All right.
I apologize for my negativity.
We're all friends here. We can be honest. How's everybody feeling?
What do we got up next?
I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart with the audience here.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Y'all pray for the drifter.
Yeah, I could use some of those. Even those I've gotten them all my life. I could use a few more. I appreciate it.
I could use some myself. Let's see. Thank you, Nomi. Nomi's in the house, by the way. You're starting to feel like less of a stranger these days.
Everybody's praying for the drifter. Well, thank y'all. I appreciate that. And thank you, Jay.
Well, we can't do the Erroneous Podcast without Drifter. Or Jay, I know. Throwing myself in there, but either way, it's the only way this works. If we go down together. About half in the U.S. worry about their money safety in banks. Speaking of going down, May the 4th be with you. I had to say it at least once.
I was wondering who the first person was going to be to say that shit. I almost wanted to tell you earlier, but I didn't think it was appropriate.
Hey,
go ahead, dude.
All right.
Let's have a good time.
It's from Washington, D.C. Oh, man. The day is like spiraling back at me right now. Amid turbulence in the U.S. banking system, nearly half of Americans are anxious about the safety of the money they have in accounts at banks or other financial institutions. A total of 48% of U.S. adults say they are concerned about their money, including 19% who are very and 29% who are moderately worried. At the same time, 30% are not worried and 20% are not worried at all.
Fuck.
20% are not worried at all? Who are these people? What do these people got going on?
They own food stamps and government assistance. They don't give a fuck. Let the motherfucker burn.
That's a good point, damn. Not even being mean, right? But like that's probably
no.
You've given all responsibility to the government. You don't have to pay attention to shit.
Oh my God.
These findings are from a Gallup poll conducted April 3rd through 25th, the month after Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank collapsed. Now about the failures of the third bank. News about the failures of a third bank, First Republic, came after the poll was completed. Most banks' failure Dang it. Most bank failures in the U.S. over the past 2 decades have been linked to the 2008 financial crisis. How? Oh, in the past 2 decades, in the past 20 years, since 2003, most of them were linked to the 2008 financial. So most of them collapsed around that time, I guess is what they're trying to say.
It's also a Gallup poll. They've been wrong so many fucking times.
Well, I'm that asshole that's like, I'm not worried about shit. Click, even though like subconsciously on levels I don't even understand, I'm like chewing my fingernails off for because of the state of things. So yeah, you really can't trust them, I guess. But the latest readings are similar to those in 2008. In September of that year, shortly after the collapse of Lehman Brothers, which remains the largest bankruptcy filing in the U.S. history, 45% of U.S. adults said they were very or moderately worried about the safety of their money. Several months later, in December, after Congress troubled asset relief program bailed out other banks in danger of failing, Americans were slightly less concerned about the safety of their personal financial accounts, as 41% said they were very moderately worried. So let's have our own little poll here. Where do you guys sit on the poll? You worried? Very worried? Freaking out? Are you watching us from a cave right now?
And just real quick, Sam says, I have a serious question. Is Rumble not a free speech platform? I was watching Redacted today, and the mods were threatening to ban people for posting links. So here's where I stand with that. Like, as a streamer, like, it's different on here, but like, sometimes you can get links that may not necessarily represent your channel or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's what he was doing. That's what the mods were doing. And a lot of times mods get out of control. They get on this little power trip, because they've been awarded some little fucking title on a stream.
Yeah.
And, they ban links and shit. But I don't know, man. I don't think that Rumble's an anti-free speech platform just because some moderator and some prominent Rumble channel is banning links. I think that they're just power hungry, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. So like if you go to Trovo, you basically get like a Discord set up with your channel, and it's yours. It's your community. You can set up whatever rooms you want, but just like in Discord, like Discord is not the one banning you out of the channel in most cases. It's the person that owns the channel that didn't like what you did in there. So the moderation is not Rumble. Rumble's not the moderator that's banning the links. Maybe they have a rule with their community. They don't want links in their chat for whatever reason. And having a free speech, like Rumble should not be laying down those rules. It should be at the community standards that are set by the streamers. Like if we might, if it's a YouTube link, we'll probably click it if you post it. But if it's like some bit.zi, whatever, we're not clicking it. And if we know you, then we'll be like, okay, at least we know we're not trying to spam us or steal our information. But if we don't know you, you're probably going to get muted out of the chat. That being said, there has been some things that I've posted in Rumble chats, and nothing bad, no bad words or anything, where it shows on my end that it was posted. But if I go check it through another account or without an account, it's not posted. And it's not a glitch because I've tried to post it multiple times from multiple accounts and just to test it because I was like, what's going on here? And literally there are some things that you are just not allowed to talk about on Rumble. And I just think because it's an issue that goes into like the deepest parts of conspiracies that we're just not supposed to know about. That's where my brain goes. I don't know why else that's happening because it wasn't anything bad or negative.
Like what? Give me a hint, though.
I had thrown out something about Tartarian Jesus. So exactly right. It's laughable, but it kind of freaks me out that no matter how much I tried to post that thing, it wouldn't let me do it. But I could say anything else and it was fine. But
weird.
To me, and this might be naive, I've always trusted Rumble. Ever since I found out Dan Bongino invested in a platform that was going to compete with Rumble, I've been 100% Rumble. Any move they make is like, yeah, they're doing it for a reason. They have a plan. They have a strategy. And sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I start sending them emails and suggestions because I'm annoying like that. But for the most part, I'm like, yeah. And if there is something where it's like, if I get muted by like on that level where I realize that a chat that I'm sending is not going through, I think like, what am I doing wrong? Am I like letting beans spill that shouldn't be spilled or something? Like I'm doing my best to catch on to a game I know nothing about because I want to be a good sport and I'm all for the cause, whatever that cause is. But then sometimes I worry that because they're in Florida, they're going to end up supporting Ron DeSantis and like muting Trump somehow on here. I don't know. I found out the other day there's a much better video platform, but it's called Goyim Video, which is not somewhere you want to be posting videos. I'm just saying the platform apparently, from what I was told, is much nicer than Rumble. But the nature of the content, not great. Free Lumbie's going to pray for us. I'll pray for you both and y'all and all of us, really. And I believe that all money as we know it today won't exist. In a way, I kind of hope for that, but I appreciate it. We all need to be praying for each other and just in general. Sorry, I went on one, didn't I? New York Post, May 4th, Fed's eyeing possible manipulation of bank share prices report. Fed's eyeing possible manipulation. Are they like turning the other eye? Is that what they're supposed to say?
The feds are accusing the banks of manipulating of market manipulation. That's essentially what's happening here. And it's all bullshit. I just wanted to include it to, as if the feds are not in on any of this. They're wait, are the banks? This is just bullshit.
It's like accusing them of breathing in a way, right? But
it's so dumb.
So U.S. officials at the federal and state levels are assessing the possibility of market manipulation behind the big moves in banking share prices in recent days, a source familiar with the matter said on Thursday. And for those that don't know, a lot of the bank share prices have dropped for the first time, I guess, in history. All of the regional and national banks are in the red for the day today on the trading. So
it's about to go down.
It's about we're weeks, I would say.
The White House is signaling, not to interrupt you, Jay, but the White House is signaling that if we don't increase the debt ceiling, it's unpatriotic. They're using words like that. Like they're looking for any out that they can get here. And I don't see. This is all just fucked up. I mean, I don't see a way out of this. I really don't this time. Normally, I'm optimistic, but this time, I'm just going to be flat out honest with y'all. I think we're fucked.
Anyway, this is the last episode of the Erroneous Podcast. We will see y'all around. No, I'm just kidding. We are, I get it. I'm, for some reason, still optimistic. Maybe I really am a nihilist. It's kind of like riding the tornado. I don't know. I expect hardship. I am worried. I'm very close to not having a roof over my head over the economy. I got an expensive car, which was a bad move, but I got it during Trump's presidency, so it didn't hurt at all. I don't keep very much food on hand, so I've probably got like a 2-day runway as far as that goes, although I'm pretty good at going on fast, so I could last maybe a week. Not a lot of cash reserves right now. Investments are all in the toilet. So when shit hits the fan, I mean, it is what it is. However, I've been saying for several episodes that there are still two possibilities. The timeline doesn't line up with the election. If you look at it, man, I mean, I don't know how we're going to make it to 2024 with the banks the way they are. And if this all is some kind of strategy or plan to expose everything and wake everybody up, they cannot drag us through the economic mud for a year and a half. That's insane. So you would have to think that once the economy goes down, they're going to take us one of two directions. The bad direction is the central bank digital currency. The good direction is going to be some kind of quantum gold standard rainbow currency thing. But that would require certain people being in charge, and things just don't seem to be lining up that way. However, we are definitely headed. I mean, it looks. I mean, yeah, you're right. It looks like we're going to have to go the cryptocurrency route, and that's freaky. I'm not getting stamped.
What if that's required, though? Moving on. I mean, but I'm sorry, y'all.
It's worth talking about. It's worth consideration at this stage. Am I wrong?
Look. Before I started co-hosting this podcast with Jay, like I was warning of this about a year and a half ago.
He was. I didn't listen to him, but he was.
We are really fucked.
But let's pull the plane up a little bit. Let's find out how we got fucked. How about that?
Okay.
U.S. officials at the federal and state level are assessing the possibility of market. Okay. Shares of regional bank resumed their slide this week after the collapse of First Republic Bank, the third U.S. mid-sized lender to fail in 2 months. Short sellers raked in 378 million in paper profits on Thursday after alone from betting against certain regional banks, according to analytic. So they were shorting their own stock. There's no way. PacWest Bancorp shares slid 57% on Thursday, dragging down other regional lenders after the Los Angeles-based bank said it was Western Alliance Bancorp denied a report from the Financial Times that said it was exploring a potential sell. So look for that one to be selling in the next couple of days, and said it was exploring legal options. The report had sent, well, no, you're being forced to sell to the big banks because it's consolidation. That's what happens when you get greedy and put all of your customers' funds into shitty government bonds, you idiots. And then short your stock down to the ground.
You're right.
Look, the system has to go though. I mean, these people they're greedy dumb. They're smart. They got educations. They went to Harvard and all that bullshit, but then they come out here and do their best to put an evil mark in the world, fill their pockets full of our money. That's the best they can offer society. And then they go, I don't know what's going on, while they're walking away with fat stacks of cash. The fucking building's burning down below them. The system has to go. But it's unfortunately the only way that it's going to go is up to big bank consolidation. So, woohoo. You're going to be okay, man. You're starting to concern me over there.
I'm just thinking about the state of affairs.
Do you want to wax poetic for a minute, man?
I don't. I'll put it to y'all like this. My largest investments that I've ever made are done. So I don't care.
Okay. But at least everybody else is fucked with you, right?
Huh?
I mean, we're all fucked together.
Well, yeah, but that just makes it even more sad.
I mean, I don't know. I don't feel alone.
Cheers, buddy.
I'm sorry, man. But I feel it too. Like I don't know exactly what everybody's going through, but just hold it together the best you can. Yeah, Maticus says he's screwed. Free Lumbee says I have storable food and emergency water and heat that doesn't rely on electric. Okay, so we're all gonna go hang out with Free Lumbee when shit goes down. Sam Crow says my wife is a food hoarder. We have 3 deep freezers full of food. I'm good. You wouldn't happen to live on the same block as Free Lumbee, would you? No particular reason. Just asking. Yeah, it's gonna be okay, guys. Look, we make it through everything. The best way to not have disappointment is to not have
grab another beer.
expectations. Okay. I think we done broke the drifter. This is from Reuters through Yahoo News. Top U.S. CEO pay rose 7.7% last year, outpacing inflation, study finds. Median pay for top U.S. CEOs rose 7.7% last year to a record $22.3 million, as new study found. Big stock awards helped the group stay ahead of inflation, while U.S. workers' pay fell behind. Among those receiving big pay increases were the CEOs of Jefferies Financial Group and Prologis Inc., according to the study being released on Wednesday by researcher from Equilar. The study reviewed the 100 highest paid CEOs at U.S. public companies with a review of 1 billion or more that reported compensation as of March 31st. A similar review last year showed a 31% pay increase for CEOs for 2021. The U.S. Consumer Price Index, a widely used measure of inflation, rose 6.5% in the 12 months ended December 21st, down from 7% in the year earlier period. Never seen it phrased that way. Pay among the CEOs rose faster than the U.S. workers in 2022, despite tight markets. Average weekly earnings for U.S. private sector employees was $1,132 in December, up 3.6 from a year earlier. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the CEOs' higher gains pushed the median pay ratio at companies led by the CEOs studied by Equilar to 288 times the pay of their median employee, up from wow. This is a capitalist question. How does everybody feel knowing that you're working for a company and you work a full-time job, 40 hours a week? You have to be there. You have to wear a tie. You have to clock in. You have to clock out. You take a lunch when you're told to. And when you're on the clock, you have to work. You have quotas, blah, blah, blah. And your boss, who walks around, comes in when he wants to, leaves when he wants to, drives a Ferrari, and probably wears like the top two buttons undone with a sports coat, because I know I would with my loafers, right? And he makes 288 times more than you. So you would have to work for 288 years to make 1 year's salary that he makes. How does that, like, again, it's capitalism. It makes me feel a little queasy, but at the same time, it's right by certain standards.
I wish I could add, but my fault. I went into the kitchen. I missed out on most of this.
No, it's okay. We were talking about how some CEOs are making up to 288 times their median employee's salary, and they just gave themselves like a 7% raise, 7.7 overall. Like, across all of the CEOs that they're tracking, the total raise that they've been given is well ahead of inflation. We'll put it that way.
I was about to say they gotta adjust for inflation.
But they're already making. Can you because you do it fathomably? Think about that. A human life, if you're lucky, is like 80, 90 years. That's more than 3 times a human life that they're earning. You will never be on their level, ever. That is. But I aspire to be the CEO of a company. Am I going to be this asshole? I guess time will tell. Probably not. I can't. That makes me sick. That's too much money. How do you work when you have that much money? I need to be hungry. Otherwise, I'm going on vacation. Anyways.
I don't know. I just feel like there should be minimums or maximum set. Why is this? Sorry, it sounded really low in my headphones, but I just feel like there should be some type of maximum set depending on the productivity of your company. How they work that out, I don't know, but I don't think that people should be getting 7 or 8% when we're talking about millions here. So, like, how much did that raise equate to this particular individual? I don't know. I remember adding this article, but I don't remember the specifics.
So it's the median pay for top U.S. executives, and it was record 22.3 million median. 22.3 million. So your average, so if you think like Coca-Cola or whatever, company executive, there's a good chance they're making about $22 million a year for what they're doing. So if you think about Anheuser-Busch's CEO and all the shit that they just pulled, he's making $22 million for his job.
Yep. I didn't add it, but they're going on the defense, trying to say they had nothing to do with it and all that stuff. But
firing people
at the end,
laying them off.
At the end of the day, they did produce a can with this creature on it.
I mean, okay, but look, even I will accept the defense that they supposedly made just one can and gave it to her as a commemorative thing. But yeah, I mean, the results are the.
You can't put creatures on your beer cans, folks. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be
I'm just
honest.
saying, don't do that. Anything that's less of a human than what you are,
That's not fair.
don't put them. You're right. That ain't fair.
It's not about who's on the can. It's literally about the agenda that's being pushed on us. So
And it is a dumb agenda.
nobody
Like,
thinks that those people are less than human. I think that we're just all annoyed that they think that we think that. Like, it's like, no, man, we got a lot of things going on, and you're over here crying about getting to go into the opposite gender's bathroom. Just stop for a minute.
yeah, it's weird. It's like I always said each company could just eliminate all this bullshit by just putting one bathroom with one stall. Wait in a line.
Or like a third bathroom for people questioning things.
I don't even think they should get that. That just requires more money. No, one fucking bathroom. Wait in
simple
line,
option.
bitch. You know, like, yes, wait in line. If everybody wants to make a big deal about this, wait in fucking line. I mean, easily.
So what
solved.
you're saying is you're so fed up with everybody talking about gender that's it. No more genders for anyone.
Yeah, fuck y'all. None of y'all get it.
I'm down with that. We are now the anti-gender party.
Wait in line at the bathroom. If there's 4 or 5 and you're about to shit your pants, tough luck.
Tough luck.
Shit your pants.
Fucking.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we're gonna get extreme, what joint venture? Okay, hold on. You put this in your UPI, Science News. Love some science. We got to make a new category now. May 4th, joint venture announced to build underwater space station of the ocean. Space station of the. Are we sold
Dude,
on that name?
I thought the same fucking thing. I don't know what's going on here. Only thing I know is that they're building a hub for these other underwater craft to dock to, and they're going to start studying things like temperature of the ocean. Excuse me. Current of the ocean. Wildlife of the ocean. All this different bullshit, man. But let's just read a little bit of it.
Okay. Yeah. How many wells do you, real quick though, you're right though, how many wells do you think are going to get axed over this? This is May 4, the first underwater space station of the ocean to study marine life and climate change and closer to reality is, the first space station underwater to study marine life and climate change is close to reality now. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and Proteus Ocean Group have agreed to develop and build underwater habitats. Proteus will be built off the Caribbean island of Curaçao. NOAA and Proteus Ocean Group announced Wednesday after signing a formal agreement last month. The new lab will allow scientists and innovators and even private citizens to live underwater for extended periods of time to study the diverse biology at the ocean floor and learn new ways to protect the ocean and Earth from climate change. While Proteus is still in development, there is no timeline yet for construction to begin. This partnership has the potential to greatly expand our capabilities in studying the ocean, Jeremy Werrick, director of NOAA Ocean Exploration, said in a statement. By living underwater, extended periods in the new ocean laboratory, we'll be able to unlock the ocean's mysteries so that we can better manage, sustainably use, protect, and appreciate its resources. Proteus Ocean Group and Jacques, I don't know, Cousteau, Jacques Cousteau, right? Grandson, Fabien Cousteau, whatever, completed a site mapping mission in Curaçao last year to get a better picture of the seafloor for Proteus' future home. So they've got it mapped out and planned. They're ready to do it. This is like, I really don't like any initiatives because they all scare me these days. Like everything, I'm flinching every time somebody says they're doing anything, but I would love to go underwater like this.
Yeah, this is probably like right off the coast of like little St. James. It's their new little Epstein Island that they're trying to
Somebody bought that
to
island.
build. Really?
Yeah,
I knew it was for sale. Who bought it?
I forgot. We'll have to pull. You know, do you mind if I grab that real quick?
I don't
Because
care. Shit.
they're turning it into a resort.
Who the fuck would go there?
Creepy ass
As a
people.
resort.
Well, it's like going to any haunted house. You go there for the. I mean, I don't know, but this seems more real than that, right?
I can't believe that it was purchased. Because I was always wondering, they said it was still logged under the Epstein estate, and I always wondered, well, who had access to his estate? I don't know. I still don't know the answer to that question, and I felt like I dug into it for a couple hours that day, but couldn't find any info. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's just funny. I don't want to share it because you never know what's going to be on the scroll down here. But this is fake. It says breaking. Disney announces purchase of Little St. James Island, repurposes it as Michael Jackson exhibit. That's not what happened though. Let me see if I can find the real thing. I don't want to. Okay, look, we'll have to cover it later. I ran across the article and I didn't say. Oh, or did I? I might have bookmarked it.
All right, I got something from NPR. Let me just share it real quick.
Okay.
So, from NPR, according to them, and that's state-sponsored media, but financier buys Jeffrey Epstein's private island with plans to create a resort. Let's see if it lists who it is. So the private islands that were a nexus in Jeffrey Epstein's depraved abuse and trafficking of young women and underage girls will be turned into a resort destination by the U.S. billionaire. Great St. James and Little St. James have been in limbo since Epstein's death in 2019. Stephen Deckoff, who the fuck is this? He only paid $60 million for Great St. James, bro. Who is this man?
His name? Deckoff. Probably a fake name. No.
Who is this man?
Forbes has an article on him. Who is this guy? Let's see. He's worth $3 billion.
Okay, so while you ready that up, like a good article, like describing who this man is,
I got it.
I'm just going to read a few more paragraphs of this article. So he paid $60 million for Great St. James and Little St. James, so neighboring islands right there. Through his SD Investments firm, a spokesperson told NPR, Deckoff is the founder of Black Diamond Capital Management. The purchase price reflects a deep discount from the $110 million for which the two properties were recently listed. Little St. James spans around 71.6 acres and includes a helipad, private dock, gas station, high capacity water filtration, 2 pools, the main compound, 4 guest villas, 3 private beaches, a gym, a tiki hut, and a fucking seance temple. But like, that's the island.
That's the above ground portion.
Like, bro, all right. The pair of islands initially went on the market in March of 2022 with a $125 million asking price. And it's really crazy to me that these actors and actresses out here buying $120 million properties out in LA or wherever the fuck, when they could literally buy an island. Is this what's happening? Like, you can buy 2 islands for 120 fucking $5 million.
I think you got a deal, and it probably has something to do with like nobody else wanting to buy it. Maybe.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit attached to it. I agree there. Which is it reminds me of what's the name of the it was pretty much the first haunted house mainstream wise that the U.S. was exposed to. Amityville,
Yeah,
something like this.
Amityville Horror. I think wasn't that a movie?
Okay, so this house has been hard to sell for a long time, even though it's prime real estate. They can't fucking sell it. And I was always the guy who was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to sell it. Turn it into a museum, have people come by, look at it and shit. I never understood any of that. But anyways, I digress. Let me just read this last paragraph and we're going to transition over here to Jay. He's got some more information on this dude. So the two islands which lie off of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands figured prominently in the civil and criminal cases against Epstein and his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. That's especially true of Little St. James, where numerous young women have said in court papers that they were taken via private jet, being ordered to perform sexual acts with Epstein and other men. Who's this man, Jay?
You gonna leave us hanging? With the
Everybody knows what happened on Epstein
Well,
Island.
they are they trying to sell it as some kind of like homosexual gangbang? Because I think it was a little bit more extreme than that.
I just want to know who this Steven character is.
Yeah, let's look at him. Okay, this is from Forbes. So apparently he's worth $3 billion. Stephen Deckoff co-founded Black Diamond Capital Management. Jenny asked what that is. It's a capital management company. So it's essentially the same thing that Epstein was doing, the same thing that BlackRock does, which is you're buying and holding and investing and selling assets, which managed $9 billion in assets. Prior to launching Black Diamond in 1995, Deckoff worked his way up in different firms, becoming senior vice president of Kidder, Peabody & Co., a resident of the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is the U.S. Virgin Islands is suing J.P. Morgan Chase over their involvement with Epstein. That's also where St. Little and Great St. James Island are, the U.S. Virgin Islands. So he lives there. Deckoff donated to various community organizations in the territory. I bet you did. He also owns multi-million-dollar properties in Colorado, New York City, Beverly Hills Mission, and Beverly's Hill Mansion, previously owned by the Latsis shipping family. I've never heard of them. So that's who this guy is.
Wow.
Just a guy that hangs out in the islands, you know. And check this out. Have you ever heard of this? It's called the World Islands over in Dubai.
Yes.
So
they make one for each like little nation or whatever and try to mimic its architecture and everything. I've actually been here.
You've been there? Well, so it's a bunch of islands that you can buy. They're essentially like buying property, like buying land, but they're in the shape of the world. But if you notice, by the way, it's got a fucking ring around it. Like it's a flat Earth map. It's fucking whatever. But irregardless, however you want to think of that, I wanted to show you this. Oh fuck, I shouldn't have hit back. This is it right here. Which island it actually is not disclosed, but the listing advertises it being a 500,000 square foot island, which I guess is like 100 miles. No, that seems big. There's 5,000 feet in a mile. 5,000, whatever. Anyways, and undeveloped with an asking price of 16 million. So what that says is you can buy a pretty big square foot island for 16 million. So maybe it's not unreasonable to sell Little St. James for 60.
Oh, and the thing here is all those islands are man-made.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manufactured.
So they just been pumping in sand to create this thing. But yeah, I went out there to that area in Dubai.
What was that like? Were you on a boat?
Not at the time. I mean, I had gotten off the boat, but I just started to walk around and observe things. And you're talking about a lot of money over there in Dubai. Dubai screams money. You see it rolling down the street. You see it in the people that you meet. They got money. Like it really is that way. Um, yes, I don't know.
Were you in the Navy at the time when you did that?
Mm-hmm.
So did you come in through the port? Like you get to roll up on the city from the seaside?
Yeah, ported there and got off the boat there in Dubai. Went to a few bars and, um, locals ended up showing us around, kind of showing us the city. It was a really cool time.
I'm
And
jealous.
but yeah, Dubai ain't nothing but money,
Should have brought some back with you.
really.
Is it as strict and stringent as people say over there?
I never felt like I was in any type of danger. Um, so no. I mean, but I was just a tourist, being given the tourist experience. So, I was drinking, all the above. I felt great.
Some comedians get hired to go over there. Well, I mean, comedians get hired to go over there, but they take them out in the desert to have them do their show because it's something about everything about it's illegal. But because they're visitors, they're allowed to do it, and there's all these loopholes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there are poor people over there, but I bet they feel really gypped because if you think our rich people party more than us. Oh, White House. Okay, more AI morality. As if we need. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yahoo Entertainment, AFP. White House says tech giants have moral duty on AI. I agree with that. What is this? Today,
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The White House on Thursday told the CEOs of U.S. AI giants that they have a moral responsibility to protect society from the potential dangers of artificial intelligence. Vice President Kamala Harris had summoned the heads of Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Anthropic. I don't know that one. To strategize about the impact of AI, afraid that companies are running blindly into technology that could pose serious harm to society. Oh, dude, I bet you anything it's like a censorship agreement, like getting everybody in the room and be like this, like these are things your AI is not allowed to tell people, type of thing.
Makes sense to me.
It's trying to be conspiratorial.
No, Chat GPT was okay at one point, and then all of a sudden it started turning on us.
That's a good point
So,
too.
yeah, I mean,
Does it get
it is
grumpy
what
with
it
you?
is. Common sense. Occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like I feel like it's frustrating. Maybe it's just my insecurity thing. I'm like, are you mad at me? It's like I'm an AI dude. Stop. Get a girlfriend. This is getting bad. Harrison told the CEOs, which included Sundar Pikachu of Google and Satya Nadella of Microsoft. What happened to names like Steve? That they have a moral duty to safeguard society from AI's potential dangers. Companies must comply with existing laws to protect the American people, as well as ensure the safety and security of their products, Harris said in a statement after the talks. This is like the first vice presidential thing I've ever seen her do.
And me too. She didn't go to the border. She caught a lot of slack for that. And I'm just being honest. And this is coming from someone who follows politics a lot. I don't know one motherfucking thing this dumb bitch has done her whole time in office. I don't know.
She taught us how to love again.
Is that what that was? Okay. Well, I fucking failed.
Yeah, me too. I saw it. At least I caught on. I wasn't interested. Oh, okay. So companies must comply with existing laws to protect the American people, as well as ensure the safety and security of their products, Harrison said in a statement after the talks. U.S. President Joe Biden also insisted on that point when he briefly dropped by the meeting, telling the assembly he was lost. He was on his way to get ice cream, telling the assembled CEOs, what you're doing has enormous potential and enormous danger.
We are so fucked.
I know. I know you understand that, and I hope you can educate us as to what you think is most needed to protect society as well as to the advancement, he said, according to a video posted later by the White House. Biden has urged Congress to pass laws setting sorry, it just sometimes it creeps up on you. Pass laws setting stricter limits on the tech sector, but these efforts have little chance of making headways given political divisions. The lack of rules has given Silicon Valley freedom to put out new products rapidly and stoke fears. Always stroking those fears that AI technologies will wreak havoc on society before the government can catch up. It's good to try to get ahead of this. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but it's one I think we can handle, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told reporters before the meeting. That's a good, strong name. His company, supercharged by billions of dollars from Microsoft, took the lead in making AI viable. Viable? I feel like they fucked up there to everyday consumers with the release of ChatGPT, which caused a global sensation 5 months ago. I'm still not scared of AI.
I'm not scared of any evil thing amongst me. That's what I wish a lot of people would understand. I don't care. But if we're gonna go, and I don't want us to get on some religious kick right now, but everything I've been taught is no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and that's what I believe. So fuck everything operating on some evil wavelength, like for real. I don't care.
I think there's more to that. Hold on. Oh, you would do it in a weird text. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall prosper, and you shall confute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. We too are called to continue our spiritual journey. Oh wait, no, that's part of the article. Okay, so no, I thought there was like conditions on that, because sometimes it's like, like some people get stabbed, some people get shot, like shit happens. You don't always. I mean, maybe it's that, like, regardless of what happens, you have a place in heaven type of.
Yeah,
mindset.
but that's when the family says, "Oh, he was a good person," and the pastor has to somehow rebuttal that and say, "Oh, well, everything happens for a reason." It's kind of one of them type of scenarios. But look, I'm not living my life in fear. I don't care.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm already depressed by the news of the day, and for whatever reason, I feel compelled to cover it. So I'm covering it tonight with beer because, it is what it is.
We could always like play games or something. I don't know. We're just doing a podcast.
It's just a podcast, bro.
Yeah.
As the title suggests, this is a podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, folks. It's Jay and Drifter, slowly slipping into madness as we rip each other apart over the news.
Y'all just keep y'all's heads up out there, and realize that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Realize that.
I feel like that was very.
Release the hounds.
Very cryptic. Maticus says, "Does Jay drink? Why am I acting like I'm drunk?" Sometimes we alternate. Sometimes
I'm drinking. I'm drinking tonight, folks. It's my fault.
We mostly play it straight.
I'm actually, probably hindering this broadcast tonight a little bit.
Great. I've loved having you here.
Well, thank you, but I digress. I'm a little depressed, and I'm a little. I wish things could be different in the world, financially, in the marketplace, stocks, all the above. But I'm here. So,
yeah, it's kind of like getting together with other people that are also depressed about the stocks and the state of the world and everything.
Free Lumbee says Drifter was against the Bible last, and tonight he's quoting it. Well, y'all got to understand something about me. I grew up with it, so it's like built into me.
He has a love-hate relationship with it.
It's complicated.
It's okay. We like complicated people. They're interesting. Get that moolah out of the stock market, Maticus says. Probably right. I'm an idiot, though, so I'm going to ride the thing to the ground. Plus, what are you going to do? I've lost most of my savings anyways. Wrong show. Because that's the thing. Like I don't think you can call that nihilism. Because don't get me wrong, I freak out. Drifter gets like an earful. Like everybody's got a best friend where they like call up and just like, this is all my shit. Blah. I do that to Drifter all the time. He's done it to me too. But like, so Drifter knows, like, I do freak out. But at the same time, on some level, I'm just like, this, like, I'm so tired of trying to control everything in my life, and everything's going to go the way it goes, and all I can do is just watch. And I didn't, it's not like I was going to be much anyway. So it's just, I don't know. No expectations, no disappointment.
I think you're doing just fine, Jay.
I am. I got people like you around.
Well, thank you.
Stop being depressed. Did that work? I can't tell.
No.
Damn it. Try again. In a minute.
I appreciate it, though. That was kind.
You're welcome. You're at dailystar.co.uk. Coronation crowds scanned by dystopian facial recognition cams to foil terror attack. Ticketmaster was probably to blame for this, too. Big Brother facial recognition cameras will use artificial intelligence systems and match them on a police watch list in real time, alerting 29,000 officer stations among royal revelers. Police will use Big Brother facial recognition cameras at the coronation to pick out terrorists, Tarquins, and tearaways in the crowd. What is a Tarquin and what is a tearaway? We need to start laying out definitions if we're sending the robots after them. The artificial intelligence system uses mathematical measurements of people's faces to compare them to photos on a police watch list in real time. When it finds a match, a signal is sent to a handheld device alerting up to 29,000 officers stationed among the royal revelers to the target. How do they track them in through the crowd, though, too? They got drones, too? They can then...
CCTV, dude.
You think working in conjunction with the scanners?
Fuck yeah.
Golly. On one hand, that's really cool technology, but on the other hand, that is so fucked.
Look at it. Right there it is.
Yeah, there it is. They can then intervene before threats materialize. A Metropolitan Police spokesperson said the technology, which has recently been approved for widespread use, will be deployed in central London in the build-up to Saturday's ceremony. So they're using this coronation to normalize it. The watch list will be focused on those whose attendance on Coronation Day would raise public protection concerns, including those wanted for offenses or have an outstanding warrant for arrest issued by the court, or those under relevant offender management programs in order to keep the public safe, the spokesman said. Our tolerance for any disruption, whether through protest or otherwise, will be low. We will deal robustly with anyone intent on undermining the celebration. So, like, if you have like a ticket and it goes to warrant, which, I mean, shows what kind of person you are. Just pay the damn ticket. You don't have to worry about it. But I've had warrants off my arrest for stupid shit when I was a kid, right? And then you're walking down the street, and then a police officer just comes up and arrests you and takes you to jail to serve out your ticket time. But you're going to take care of it at some point anyways, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that. Because we're walking right into a surveillance state.
I feel like there's people in the audience out there right now who are like, wait, Jay, what did you do? Would you like defend your integrity and your, come on.
I've never once felt like I needed to do that, but okay. So here's what was it for? Okay. So this is what happened. When I was 16 years old, I worked at this place called Burger Palace with my sister. She was the manager. Well, I called her a cunt, which is apparently a fireable offense. So I had lost my job that week, but my best friend at the time, Kyler, worked up there. And one night my sister called me and she goes, "Hey, Kyler's up here. He's acting crazy. Can you come make him stop? I'm trying to close down the store and he won't stop." And so I go up there and he is going off on my sister. And I only mentioned that I'd called her a cunt because I freaked the fuck out on him when I realized what he was calling her names and disrespecting her. But so I let him have it. He started getting his work, but then and I was about to leave and I turned around, or no, he said something to me. I turned around and I smacked the phone out of his hand, but it went into the water in the dish sink. So he grabs the phone and leaves. I stay and close the store down for my sister. He called the police on the phone that he told them I broke his phone, filed charges against me. I had to go to teen court. I got sentenced with community service, and I went to the YMCA or the Kids Inc. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's like a local kids sports thing. And I had to go like sort jerseys for 2 weeks, but I didn't finish. I was like an hour away, and then I ended up having to move to Illinois to live with my dad because I was a kid and my parents are going through stuff. Another thing this kid did, by the way, that like literally that night, and I told the police this and they didn't care, is he slashed the tires on my truck and poured sugar in my gas tank on my F-150. I was so pissed. So fast forward 2 years later, I run out of gas on the highway in a rainstorm. Cops come up. Somebody pulled over to help me, and their idea of helping me is to call the cops and report my license plate to them. So they come up and they arrest me because I have a warrant out for my arrest for breaking a kid's cell phone. And they were going to take me to city jail. And the cop was real nice. And he was like, so just, I need to know, do you have anything in your car that I need to know about? You might want to tell me before I find it. So I said, yeah, I got a dime bag of weed in my horn. And this was an 88 Buick Century. So he goes and he pulls the horn off, comes back. He goes, I would have never found this. And I go to jail for pot. Possession under 2 ounces. And then I served out my warrant for not finishing my community service, which wasn't like a charge. It was just like I owed community service.
Damn, dude.
I got to go to Randall. I met a lot of cool guys, learned how to play dominoes.
Yeah, and you were being extra cautious by putting that in your horn.
I know. That's what she said. But yeah, but you know, look, shit happens and it leads you places, and I don't know. It was an experience. I had to go back because what was it? It was the same thing. I just didn't pay the fine for it. And so like 2 years later, I was on my way to work and I was selling that 88 Buick Century because somebody cut the catalytic converter off of it and I couldn't drive it or something. I don't remember exactly what happened, but the guy that I got pulled over, but my friend was driving and I thought I was going to go to jail. And so we got to the place where I was selling the car to this guy, this junk dealer. I let it slip that I was freaked out because I thought I was about to get arrested because I had a warrant out for my arrest. The motherfucker turned me in because he thought he was going to get a reward. And I was wearing a Burger King uniform. So he sent him up to the Burger King I was working at. And then a sheriff.
Damn.
Yeah. And a sheriff shows up at the store and he goes, I heard you have a warrant out for your arrest. You're going to need to come with me. And my manager goes, sir, if you take him, it's going to ruin it's going to ruin our whole night. You got to let him stay. And he goes, I'll be back in 3 days. So I just went and turned myself in, sat a week up there, read books, Dan Brown novels. But I learned my lesson and I handled my shit. I faced my responsibilities and then I never had to deal with it again. I'll tell you, the day I walked out of that jail was actually the scariest thing in my life because my car didn't have any air in the tire. I'd left in the parking lot for the week I was in there and the tires were flat. And so I grabbed my little Chillum marijuana pipe out of the car and I was walking up the highway and a cop, of course, in the middle of the night, a guy's walking away from the jail out in the country, cop's going to pull over. And I thought I was going right back to jail, but he didn't see me drop it on the ground. I went back the next day and got it. But my mom pulled up at right at that time too and took me to her apartment. But yeah, weird, you know, I had a hard time leaving the nest, I guess. Any more personal questions?
No, I apologize, but like I mean, you brought it up, and I was wondering, so I felt like the audience was wondering too. And at any point, whenever I'm like, "Hey, could you elaborate on that?" If it's ever just like too personal, just tell me to fuck off.
You're like, don't elaborate that much. How long did I go? That was like 10 minutes of story. Did y'all enjoy that? I feel like we lost viewers. But yeah, if you run a background check on me, that's what you'd see from like 2008. I think if anything, I'm boring. I'm a boring person. I'm a lame person. So I don't mind talking about that stuff. And like I said, it was all a learning experience. I taught myself 9 programming languages. I became a freelancer. I should have gotten a college education, but beside that, I did do some smart shit with my life. So I'm not too embarrassed. I'd like to know one of your stories real quick. When was the last time you had a run-in with the law?
I got in a fight with a roommate. I threw a cup of whiskey with ice in their face, and I got charged with assault.
A glass cup?
Yeah, but just the liquor and the ice.
No, are you making fun of Matt Gaetz?
No, dude, this really happened about 4 years ago.
You're kidding me. Somebody filed assault charges on you for that's a real thing? Do you remember we were talking about Matt Gates got wine thrown in his face? Why are you smiling? Are you fucking with me?
I'm not fucking with you, dude. I threw some liquor and in my roommate's face, like get the fuck out of here type deal. Yeah. And
And he
went
charged.
I went to jail that night.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, if
But-
we were roommates, I wouldn't have done that to you. That's messed up.
I'm just saying I went to jail. That's
Oh,
the only
we've
time
all
I've
been there.
ever been to jail. So if y'all look me up, that's the only thing y'all will find as well. I threw some liquor in someone's face one night and said, like, leave me the
He-
fuck alone.
He probably was thirsty. Look, Jenny says we all have stories. All been there.
Nicole
glad
said,
we-
oh shit. See, I mean, but like I wasn't trying to fight. I wasn't trying to get down. I was just, a little tipsy.
Maticus says, no way. What a shitty roommate, right? Oh, Maticus' phone number, if anybody wants to chat on Telegram, you add through phone numbers, or is that a personal phone number? That's the only download. I guess you need to actually... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You guys are... That's fine. You guys are having a conversation over there.
I'd just like to say that Free Lumbee said, y'all are funny and awesome. And I love the vibe
nice.
and the realness. And then Maticus says, I agree with Free. Yeah, this is pretty much as real as it gets.
We're in the shit.
Cheers.
Hey, Friends for the End of the World. There was that movie. That dude. Sometimes those movies, though, they're not. Did you ever see that? Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, and it's forget his name now. Steve Carell looking for a girlfriend because there's a meteor about to hit the planet and everybody's about to die. There's
What
a date on
happened?
it.
I didn't see it, huh?
Well, like slowly people start because like a lot of people still try to keep up their jobs and everything, but slowly like all of the logistics and everything fall apart. But the movie
Kind of like
centered around
now.
well, yeah, a little bit, but it's more like if in 3 days the world was going to end, like a lot of people would be like I'm just going to go on a hike or go rob a bank or go do something that I've always wanted to do, I guess I should say. Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? And so naturally, like all of the systems would slowly start losing the people that run them. And but yeah, it's a little bit like now. I mean, nobody's going to work these days. Damn, you're right. They tell us everything.
Maticus says, be in your low tonight, Drifter, but wake up a new man. I appreciate that.
Hey, I think he's vibing. Are you vibing?
I'm good.
He's sleepy.
I'm good.
It's okay, man. I feel bad. We had a rough day, admittedly, and we got on late. But I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. Anyways, this is from Daily Star. The watch list will be focused on those who attended on Coronation Day would raise. Wait, I just read all this, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. They're spying on us, people, but they're going hard at the coronation with it. It's just super. Oh, that's how we got into it. We started talking about wards. I'm a thug. But yeah, like they're doing facial recognitions to. I mean, I don't know. What am I trying to say here? It's just weird, right? You're
No,
walking down the street and your face gets scanned, and then you're part of some list or group, and you get harassed.
it is, and the NSA's been doing it for years, but I guess because of the popularity of the royal family has diminished over there, they're amping up security measures and implementing this, new AI system that's going to scan people's faces to make sure that these people haven't threatened the royal family in the past or whatever the fuck. But I mean, that's why it was in our entertainment section. The coronation is happening, but nobody gives a fuck like they would have 50 years ago if a coronation were to happen. And I believe, like, the queen, she was coronated back in the 30s. Like, it's
Seriously?
been such a long time. She was the longest reigning British monarch in history. So it is something that we haven't experienced really. None of us, no one, I feel like, I mean, I'd be dumb to say no one was alive during the last coronation because I'm sure there were, but they're like 95 fucking years old right now, is the point that I'm trying to make. They're practically
crazy.
dead. So this is an historic moment. I'm not a fan of the royal family, even though I'm interested in it, because it's a fascinating topic. And I've really looked into it, and I don't know. I think they're evil. I'm with you on that, Jay. I don't get it twisted.
No, I assumed you're smart. You know what's going on around here.
But at the same time, it's fascinating to see something like this happen, and the powers shift over to this new individual. It's something like we experience here every 4 or 8 years when there's a new president. But over there, like, here's what blew my mind when I was over there. When I was in England, they were talking about all of the powers that the queen had, but she didn't enforce those powers. She could if she wanted to. In theory, she could behead you out in the street. You couldn't fucking do shit. Yes. She's in charge of all the money. She's in charge of all the property. She's even in charge of things like swans. If you look it up, I'm not fucking making this shit up. The queen owns every swan in the realm. It's hers.
Alex Jones would be pissed. Remember, he's like,
it's her property.
That's crazy. She owns swans.
I mean,
stop in the name of the queen.
Yeah, and she also has this. There's this clause with her. She could be anywhere in the world and violate any country's laws, and it doesn't apply to her because she's a British monarch. So she could literally come to Texas and murder me in the fucking street, and it doesn't apply to this lady.
That is insane. You can't do that because you can't just be like, our laws are that we have no laws when we're in your country. Because the other country's like, well, our laws are that you're not allowed in our country. How about that, dick? That's insane. But she could probably get away with it, and you want to know why? Because they've owned all of the postal service shipping routes forever.
If I could pull it up, and I don't know if I'll be able to find this, because the queen's dead now and everything's been replaced. But what power does the queen have? I want to find this one specific video that I watched because it blew my fucking mind. Okay, so this is old. Can we watch a little bit of this?
Yeah. What is it?
All right. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I've already seen this. This is by Today I Found Out. Very popular YouTube channel. I follow this dude. He's really fucking good breaking down different topics. And this one just happened to be, what powers does the Queen of England actually have? And this is from... How long ago was this? This is 5 years ago, according to this channel. But things like this got me really interested in the monarch. And I'm like, holy fuck, like these people are... If they wanted, they could wreak all kind of havoc. But anyways, I'll be right back. Y'all just watch this. This is nuts.
Drifter broke the seal.
In the video today, we're looking at what powers the Queen of England actually has. And just before we get started, I do want to say that this video is brought to you by TunnelBear. TunnelBear is a simple privacy app that makes it easy to enjoy a more open internet. It's available for iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac. Start your free trial today at tunnelbear.com/brainfood. So a short while ago, we put out a video about the fact that Queen Elizabeth II neither needs a passport nor a driving license, thanks to a quirk of British law. But what other powers does the Queen of many titles have, and what could she theoretically do if she decided to flex the full might of the authority that she wields? As it turns out, thanks to the royal prerogative, a terrifying amount if she really felt like it, or at least that's assuming Parliament went by the letter of the law and that the people didn't decide to stage a small revolt. In reality, the Queen rarely exerts even a fraction of the power that she theoretically wields, as it's kept in check by the only person in the UK who can tell her what to do, and that's herself. This is very much a calculated move on her part in order to stay in the good graces of her subjects. She also voluntarily pays her taxes, even though she's not technically obligated to, and that helps with people's opinion of her. Not only does she avoid openly flexing her political might, she also tends to keep her opinions outside of the public sphere. As historian Frank Prohaska notes, the real secret of royal influence is saying nothing. And anything the Queen does say publicly is pretty anodyne. The minute a monarch or any of the royals say anything remotely political or opinionated, they alienate people and they lose some power. This silence played a large part in how the British monarchy survived post-World War I when other European royal families didn't. In fact, for nearly 2 decades now, the monarchy has regularly had polls run and focus groups put together to keep track of how the general public feels about them and their various actions. They also have on payroll individuals whose job it is to ensure the Queen stays in the public eye and in a way that is most likely to endear her to her subjects. Similar to politicians who rely on the voting public, with each public change she presents, right down to the carrying of a cell.
You can stop this at any time, but I just want, like, okay, so he's talking about specifically the Queen, but it's now the King who's about to be coronated this weekend. So, I mean, it's mind-blowing to me how these people have this much power. I don't know what he's covered so far since I stepped away.
He said, for one thing that stuck out was he said that the Queen voluntarily pays her taxes even though she's not required to. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Do you want to inspire everyone else to pay theirs? But it's things like that, and how she doesn't use certain powers because she doesn't need to, or because it's all about the public image.
Right. Let's watch a little more. We'll end it, but I just want y'all to know what the King, this new king, what his powers will be. It's fucking nuts, really.
Cell phone or not, carefully calculated in terms of the impact it might have. While this may seem only self-serving, the Queen has a very lengthy track record as an admirable public servant and is also acutely aware that she is a prominent public face representing her subjects, so is keen on avoiding being viewed in a bad light, lest she in turn paints them in a bad light by her actions. As she noted at the tender age of 21 in a speech to the Commonwealth she gave on her birthday, "I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and the service of our great imperial family, to which we..."
Famous little radio speech that she gave. This was actually during World War II, when all the public was all riled up and everything. But
all belong. Surprisingly, for many...
They made a Netflix series surrounding that. She probably gave that speech in that series.
She absolutely did. And if anybody hasn't watched that series, I recommend it because it's a good watch. If you're into stuff like that, it was a historical thing. And it really got to, it felt like I was a fly on the wall inside of one of the most important buildings in the world during some of the most important times in the world. Like, that's how I felt when I watched it. And it could all be bullshit, but at the same time, when you research into these scandals, when you research into all this stuff, you start to see how much the writers of this series really did their fucking research, and it kind of blew my mind. And I'm just like, all right, I trust y'all now. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. That it's called The Crown on Netflix.
Many years the full extent of exactly what powers the Queen handed off to the government, but technically retained, weren't
about to get into the real shit right here.
Publicly
Check this
known.
out.
That is, until 2003, when the government released a partial list of the things it can do on the Queen's behalf. For the most part,
Listen.
the list confirms that the government could do things to save the Queen time, such as issue or revoke passports, which simply wouldn't be a feasible thing to be the sole prerogative of the Crown in a modern society. However, some were actually slightly worried by some of the things she could do, like declare war, which under rules of royal prerogative can be done without consulting Parliament. On top of that, the Queen is totally immune from prosecution.
Okay. Let me back up. So the Queen or the monarch can technically declare war on anyone they want, and there's nothing the Parliament can do. Also, listen to this part.
Of royal prerogative can be done without consulting Parliament. On top of that, the Queen is totally immune from prosecution and is considered above the law in the UK. And further, as a head of state, she also enjoys
totally immune from prosecution. Listen up.
Diplomatic immunity in any foreign country she happens to visit. As such,
Okay, so the diplomatic immunity thing's normal for leaders, but I still don't think I think she could get away with pulling somebody out in the street and chopping their head off in another country, but I don't think a normal leader could.
She or the current monarch that's taken over, Prince Charles, King Charles, whatever the fuck he's going by now. I don't know what I can't even remember what he deemed his title as. King Charles III, I believe. They're totally immune to any prosecution wherever they are. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter is what is the crazy thing about this. I'm just going to play a little bit more and we'll get back to the show. I'm sorry, Jay. But this shit fucked me up.
This is coming up.
She could commit any crime conceivable anywhere on Earth, at least as the law currently stands, and suffer no legal consequences for doing so. However, as with everything else, she's generally exceptionally careful to ensure that she doesn't break any laws. Of course, what she does in private is completely her own affair, despite her prominent political position, as she is exempt from freedom of information requests. So, moving on.
She's exempt from freedom of information requests.
Wow. In every country? I guess so, huh?
Everywhere. You can't fucking subpoena the Queen or the King.
Because technically speaking, the people of Britain are not citizens but subjects of the monarch, she could have anyone she wanted arrested and presumably seize their property or land for the crown. Speaking of
what?
Wow. So now she can just arrest anybody she wants and take their shit.
Seize your shit. Just take it. So go ahead and speak out against her or him.
Which the Queen owns all of the seabeds around the UK and can commandeer any ship found in British waters for service to the realm. Oddly enough, she also has first dibs on any whales that wash up on shore. The Queen could also administer any manner of punishment to an individual who offended or otherwise displeased her, as the Crown has prerogative power to keep the peace within the realm. And since she's immune from prosecution, nobody could really do anything if this punishment wasn't entirely within the scope of the law. If the government tried to stop her, the Queen could decimate the British political landscape by dissolving Parliament and appointing anyone she felt like as Prime Minister. This is because it's the Queen's duty to appoint the Prime Minister, and she could, in theory, appoint anyone she wanted to the position, regardless of the way the British public voted in an election. On top of that, in the event the Queen didn't like the outcome of an election...
That's fucking insane.
She's a tyrant.
She was.
What? Okay. Rest her soul.
I believe she's dead, but look, the power structure that they built was strategic. They put all those in play for a reason, and I will give it to her. I don't know if she was involved in any fucking blood sacrifices or I don't know nothing about that, but she stayed out of it, so I gotta give her credit. She never flexed when she could have. She could have flexed on these motherfuckers, and she never did. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
For instance, if she didn't like the replacement parliament members that were voted in, she could just call for another one using royal prerogative until she got the parliament she wanted. Not that she'd need to, because if she really wanted, she'd just bring in the army to keep everyone in line. But how does that work? How does she control the army? Well, that's because the Queen is also the commander-in-chief of the entire British military, with every officer...
Oh, she's just in charge of everything. Okay.
Soldier,
Yeah,
sailor,
so
and...
look, real quick, in our country, the president can declare war. He's in charge of the military. However, you need money to do war. And the
Right.
Congress is in charge of the money. So he has to go groveling to Congress if he wants money for war. And so it has to be a war that everybody agrees on in order to make it happen. Unfortunately, they all agree on wars that are, just us going around bullying people. But either way, at least we agree on shit. We're not like these tyrants.
Right. I feel like that's why that whole 1776 thing happened. I don't know.
Pilot swearing allegiance to the crown and nobody else. They're not called Her Majesty's Armed Forces for nothing. Being considered the ultimate authority on all British military matters, the Queen could authorize a nuclear strike on France or make North Korea an ally, as she has
What?
the power to declare both war and peace with foreign nations. As for laws, well, technically the Queen can't create new laws, she can only sign them into law after they've been decided upon by Parliament. In fact, her royal assent is required to make the law official after being
But she can literally dismantle Parliament and appoint whoever she wants to create laws so she could sign.
This is like, she's Doctor Strange. She can just bend reality around her. You can't throw anything at her. She's just like, whoa, now it's a turtle.
I know. That's why I've always been obsessed with this lady. When she died, I'll be honest with y'all. I realize a lot of y'all think she's evil or whatever, but like, I was kind of hurt because I knew the power that she had, and I realized the power she never utilized. And for me, witnessing that, I was like, you know what? You could have done a lot more, but you didn't.
But also she probably owns all of the press and everything over there too. So she could have done so much and we wouldn't know about it. I don't know. You want to give her she could be Soros's cousin, and that wouldn't surprise me. I'll put it that way.
But just imagine,
bloodline-wise.
Hear me out. Imagine if she was just evil as fuck. Like, I'm talking Mao evil or like whatever. Like,
okay,
she wasn't out there beheading people in front of Buckingham Palace.
No, but
she could have.
Yeah, she could have. But that's how you get an uprising. That's how you get the peasants to revolt. No, you make the peasants comfortable. Meanwhile, you're running a mass pyramid operation on the globe using the U.S. as a military force.
Okay, yeah.
The UK has been the banks. We've been the military. The Vatican's controlled all the shipping. It's the three castles. I'm probably gonna get nuked for saying that, but it's true. You can go look up the three castles on Rumble. You'll find the video. The guy by the whiteboard. He won't steer you wrong. He tells you everything. He tells you about the birth certificates. He tells you about how they how they pronounce us dead at birth, and then they give us capital letter titles as lost cargo, and then they trade us on the open markets while we pretend like we're free. The system's more fucked up than we realize. There is another level of fucked up that involves like legal shit that is so asinine when you think about it, but it's real to them. It's ancient law of who owns what and how, and who gets the pay up. And the big guy in this situation is not Joe Biden. It's the king of England hundreds of years ago.
We're almost done with this. Let's check out the rest of it.
Passed by Parliament in the first place, she could appoint ministers who'd make any laws she wanted a reality and then just sign them into law that way. Beyond royal assent, there's also the Queen's consent, which requires she give her consent before any law that affects the interests of the monarchy can even be discussed at all in Parliament. She actually has used this power before, such as in 1999 when she refused to allow the discussion of a bill that would have given Parliament power to authorize military strikes in Iraq instead of needing her authorization. So, well, that's all on the political side, but it doesn't stop here. The Queen technically has a sort of power not only over her subjects' physical beings, but also their souls. Well, how? Well, that's because...
What the fuck?
Because she's also the head of the Church of England, including having the power to appoint archbishops.
Go ahead, Jay.
She's walking around with a what do you call those? A label maker. She's like mine. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this. Like she's the head of everything. She's the CEO of every company. I think at a certain point, people are like, okay, yeah, you're in charge. Anyways,
what's crazy is that she don't even publicly like come out but a few times a year. But like this was just awarded to her. I mean,
was it awarded to the people like the ruler before her?
Yes, absolutely.
So
and
it's
even
been
more
long
so,
standing. Somebody
even
way
more
before
so,
her was like, I own the swans now.
the
And then the person after
royalty,
that one upped and was like, well, then we get the whales too.
like, yeah, I forgot what that was, a conservation thing. When they came out and said that we're going to protect the swans, and from here on out, every swan in Great Britain is property of the Queen, and if you kill one of these swans, we're coming after you. It was kind of like one of those things.
Oh no, they have a swan defense force. All right, I want to. Matic asked a question. I want to touch on here
Yeah.
in a minute, but let's roll through this real quick. We'll jump on that.
We're almost done. 624 out of 959. I'm just gonna let this play. I'm not gonna stop it, even though we may need to stop it. I realize it's fucked up, but y'all just hear it out.
And power over many other such matters concerning the church. As for most of these powers that technically allow her to rule with an iron fist, as previously mentioned, the Queen is hesitant to ever use them in such a way that would displease her subjects, and certainly isn't about to disregard their representatives in Parliament. However, these powers still exist for a variety of reasons, including potentially being needed in times of extreme crisis. That said, just because she isn't in the practice of exercising her powers against the will of the people, it doesn't mean she isn't occasionally an active political powerhouse in private. Extremely well respected and known worldwide, with the ability to bend the ear of most heads of state, the influence the Queen wields is difficult to quantify, but, as noted in an article discussing why the BBC named the Queen the most powerful woman in the world in their list of 100 most powerful women, Her Majesty's power is more about influence. A discreet nod of the head, a polite word in the ear of a Prime Minister at their weekly meeting, or a strategic patronage of a cause being overlooked by the government is how she can indirectly affect our world without us even knowing. Well, to conclude, the Queen has many powers she could theoretically legally use to her own ends unless her subjects and Parliament simply decided to stage a revolution. However, she generally avoids doing anything overt that might upset her subjects and otherwise simply works in the background, more or less in an advisory role when she feels there is a need. So I really hope you enjoyed. Now, if you are interested in protecting your privacy online, well, then you really should have.
Cut the feed. We're making the guy money now. Y'all don't go check out.
Yeah,
what was
getting
it,
into
Bear
some
Tunnel?
VPN bullshit. But what do you think about that, Jay?
Like that. The only thing that she has as a check of power is a revolt of the peasants, which would involve like the military, the civilians, the Parliament. Everybody would have to come into agreement that the Queen's got to go, and they'd have to overthrow her. Beyond that, she's powerless. Has unlimited power in every country.
Yeah. And because she has total control over the whole military over there, really the politicians too, you don't see too many politicians speaking ill of her. And when she's dead now, so
Yeah.
we're dealing with the whole new reign.
So that is interesting because how's he going to act with all this power and authority?
Well, and what's weird about him is he's this leftist fucking, he's all about climate change and
no doubt.
Your typical leftist argument over here in the US, that's him. But at the same time, he does it in a way where he's very, very brief with his comments, but he's very concise. He's a bit of an idiot. Great Britain even says it about him. He's gotten caught up in several scandals.
Is this Andrew?
Charles.
Okay. I was like, God, they're gonna get like
his brother. Yeah. But anyways, a lot of people are saying this is the end of the monarch with this clown. Because he's just too fucking goddamn stupid.
Look, he's got sausage fingers. Big old sausage fingers, right? And the internet trolled him so bad that when he did his coronation photos, he hit his hands. behind his back. And it's even worse because the lady that he's with, I'm assuming his wife, I don't know these people, but she's showing her hands, and it just makes it more awkward that he's hiding his. But when he shows them, he's got these giant sausage fingers. I mean, they really are atrocious.
All right, so who he's with right now is Camilla, which was the mistress. That's who he cheated on Princess Diana with.
Wow. What White Hat lore says she was one of the good ones. She was up there with the Lincoln Park guy and Savage Garden guy. Of course, they've also roped in Paul Walker into that lore as well. He was a white hat in too deep, trying to expose Haiti, and then his car blew up on the highway.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's odd. For a very long, extended period of time, the Queen, who is now dead, pretty much shunned. Go ahead.
I was just saying, are you sure she's dead? You keep saying that.
She's dead.
Okay.
But she shunned Charles from a lot of different things because of the way he was handling it. It all started when he was a child, and when Prince Philip, the Queen of England's husband, was trying to get him to go to this school out in Ireland, which was some prominent boys' school where you learn discipline and all that kind of stuff. I'm forgetting the name of it, but y'all can look into it and y'all see what I mean.
Windsor Academy. I'm just throwing
Yardsmith or something like that. I'm probably wrong, but anyways, the Queen actually fought Prince Philip on this, because Prince Philip had went to that same school. Dartmouth, I think, is what it was called.
That's not okay.
But anyways, they bullied him, and they gave him an even more hard of a time because he was royal family while he was there, according to them, according to the current king. Basically, no one would associate with him. They associated all of their problems with this kid and said, "You're going to be our future leader one day, and we hate you already. Fuck you. We're going to beat you up back here." So according to them, that's how that went down. I don't know if that's, historically how it went down, but according to Charles, that's how it went down.
Poor guy.
Charles is a bit of a bitch. Anyways, he's totally unlike Prince Philip. Prince Philip would have just said, "Let's fight," because Philip was weird like that. He would. If you watch interviews of Prince Philip, he said the most outlandish things to reporters. A lot of things that are deemed racist. But Prince Philip didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
He didn't.
We'll have to keep covering the coronation as it comes up. But I wanted to.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That was interesting. I wanted to. Maticus asked a question up here. Where did that go? Do you guys think we will roll into a regular 2024 presidential election? I just wanted to say on my part, the timeline's not adding up. It's like, how do we survive through an economic downturn like this with that much time span? How does a lot of things play out that slow when everything's been going so fast? But that's just my take. It just seems like something has to happen, or we're in for a lot of misery for at least a year. This year's the downturn. Next year's going to be the part where we're all just sitting in it.
I've been going through it for about 2 years now. I don't care anymore.
The downturn?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gotten uglier and uglier. They're turning the heat up slow, but for some of us, we can feel it. Do you think we make it to 2024 with any kind of grace, or?
I think we make it to the 2024 election. I do. I think we're all going to be struggling. I think the Democrats are going to try to portray it in a way where, the Republicans are somehow responsible and vote for us if you want, a stimulus check or some dumb shit like that. But I'm to the point now where I'll wipe my ass with $1,200.
Damn, what are you doing over there?
Wait, that came off wrong. You get what I mean, though.
It's like, no, like, yeah, I mean, I think I get what you mean. Like, it's just that's not enough money.
It ain't enough to fucking matter when you're gonna give some little, stimulus out there. 12. Whoa, that sounded like a fucking explosion, dude.
What?
Maybe there's thunder. I don't know. But yeah, even if it was quarterly, $1,200, what is that going to get you? That pays your rent, and if you're lucky, your car payment.
Like
you are
groceries
fucked.
for a week or two.
You are fucked. Don't let these politicians try to convince you that some little $1,200 fucking stimulus check is, oh my God, we're trying to help. Fuck off.
They're sending out. They're sending out stimmies. What's up? No, I'm just kidding.
It's coming.
Oh God, no. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, oh, free money, woohoo! But no, we're all participating in draining. What I mean, but then it's all fake anyway. So it's like whatever. Get an ice cream cone on your way down. I don't know. I was really convinced this past couple of years that there's going to be a graceful transition into something that we can all appreciate and enjoy having gone through what we're going through. But maybe we haven't gone through enough yet. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe there is no plan or strategy. Nothing's actually going to happen. We've all been tricked into accepting this, and it's going to only get worse and worse. And the end times are upon us. I don't fucking know. But
Well, look.
I was really convinced that something was going to swoop in.
Where I'm at, I got lucky a couple times. Ended up investing in a company that I thought was going to be private, which ended up getting bought out by an elite group of individuals. And now I don't care. I mean, yeah, we all have our investments in this and that, but at the end of the day, we're all looking at it and it's all tanking. And I'm not going to be the optimist anymore. We are fucked, and I don't care anymore.
But okay, that's fair. I think maybe I get it if you're clinging onto the old system. I've watched a lot of people participate in parallel economies, build their own thing. Like, for instance, if there's anybody out there that has a product or service, we can put it on our podcast. You're drunk. We can advertise for you. We're working on things on the back end with all kinds of things that we're doing that are about building a parallel economy around us. If you're a skilled individual, if you know how to do any web development, hit me up. Hit us up on our Twitter. We're putting a Discord together. I'm a very skilled freelancer. I've got a lot of experience, and I am going to make a very last minute attempt to build some kind of parallel economy. Now, if the economy completely crashes and money's worthless, I don't know how that works. I honestly don't. I'm also very retarded. So take that for what it's worth. I don't know how to do a lot of paperwork. So ask me what I do whenever the economy collapses and money's worth nothing and where they're telling us to use some other type of currency. And I'm definitely not getting chipped, but maybe we can all, I don't know, trade Pokemon cards for money. Either way, there's opportunities where there's opportunities, unless it's just the whole thing goes up in smokes, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Dude, there's legit bombs going off out here right now.
What do you mean? Do you have a police scanner? What's going on?
I mean, I have my fucking window open and I keep hearing boom, boom. Boom.
It's 12:20 at night. Do any of your neighbors like to shoot pyrite?
Nope. I don't have neighbors, but
well, yeah, I heard that. What is going on out there, man?
Bro, I don't know.
Listen, we got stories. We got way off track, but the thing is, we just had a huge border surge, man, and That was this morning, so that's plenty of time for what, dude?
It could be thunder. Like I'm just
Don't.
tripping because I keep hearing it, and I didn't hear any like weather reports tonight. But like it's just like boom, 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 and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" And you're like, "No." And
I can hear the poop, 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 poop.
do you hear this? My window is open right here.
Are you freaked out? That's what I need to know.
A little bit.
God damn it.
Anyways, no, look, like I already told y'all, I'm to the point now, and this sounds like a little bitch move, but I don't care anymore. I pretty much just like cowered down and said I give up.
That's dumb. Don't do that, man. We can make it through this. These are the times that try men's souls. That didn't do anything for you, did it?
No, I'm listening, man. I thought you were going to go into this article because I saw it pop up on the screen, but I feel you, man, but it's just hard.
Yeah, but when life gets hard, you dig in. If you think about it. In a world where everything is perfect and you don't have to worry about anything, it's almost boring because all you're doing is finding ways to release endorphins through pleasure. But when you got a wild animal chasing after you, you start to think about things a little bit harder. You start to live a little bit more in the moment. You get the adrenaline pumping. Live like a wild animal's chasing after you because in a way, it's kind of fun. What's the worst that could happen? It catches you and mauls you because you trip on a rock. Don't trip on any rocks.
That'd be unfortunate. Yeah, that would suck.
Speaking of animals, maybe you can just outlast them because apparently animals are dying in droves. What are they telling us? From flu-ridden sea lions to elephant die-offs, mass mortality, even events are becoming more common. We understand very little about their repercussions. We're just trying to replace them with woolly mammoths.
Whoa.
Sea lions.
Am I still on the stream right now?
Yeah, you're here.
My screen cut off.
Uh-oh. What do you mean?
I mean, my monitor cut off. I think there's a big storm out here. I didn't check the weather.
Would you look it up real quick just to put us at ease? Because I'm starting to think that you got Black Ops ninjas in your attic or something.
I'm out of Restream right now. I don't even know how I'm even on this stream. I'm literally having to reload Restream, and I'm logging back in right now. I can't even believe you can hear me.
Yeah, I can. We're live on the air.
I'm rejoining Restream right now. I'm entering the studio right now.
And you're in here twice. You must have another tab open or something.
What in the fuck?
I'm gonna read this article. Always figure that out. Yeah, he's cloned himself somehow, guys. Here we go. The numbers are wait, hold on. A sea lion slumps on its back, belly and neck exposed. A wildlife worker swabs another's nose, curled into a coma. The emaciated animal screeches in protest. In another shot of Reuters B-roll, humans in hazmat suits shovel a shoreline grave under colorless skies, sprinkling a red mass of carcasses with chemical powder before sealing the burial with dark, wet sand. The numbers are as bleak as the footage. More than 3,500 sea lions sickened and dead of the H5N1 variant of avian influenza in Peru this winter and spring. The avian flu is killing sea lions, with animal weighing on average about 770 pounds. Each of these infected corpses threatens to further pulse the pathogen along the Peruvian coastline. Nice consonants, dicks, according to researchers there. He's completely out right now. He'll be back. Scenes this stark are harder to ignore than slower forms of species demise quietly spread out over time and space. Here's a riverbank littered with lifeless mussel shells, the plains where 200,000 antelope dropped dead, coral stripped of sea urchins, a continent across which bushfires killed and displaced 3 billion animals. Die-offs like these jolt us even as tens of thousands of species steadily twinkle off into extinction in the Anthropocene. I feel like that's going to get me kicked off some platform. They really feel biblical in their proportions, say Sam Fay, an associate professor of biology at Reed College, told me. Their scale, that of carnage, seems to speak to our modern ecological anxiety, rage, and grief. Mass mortality events are material evidence of anthropogenic apocalypse, an unignorable and immediate tally of the ravages we've sown. And they will likely become more common as heat waves, drought, disease, outbreaks, storms. Oh, right, global warming. News coverage of die-offs, however, fail to acknowledge all we don't understand about mass death. In reality, we're nowhere close to grasping the repercussions these cascades of deaths have on ecosystems. We're still a far way away from. Sorry, I keep thinking he's popping back in here. Okay. Each year, millions of salmon spawn, stop eating, rot alive, and dissolve away. When billions of cicada emerge from the ground, their remains fertilize that same soil. A few weeks later, a masting beech tree can carpet a square meter with 500 seeds, almost none of which will get the chance to sprout or take life. Nature is full of episodes of mass death. Not all are devastating mass mortality events. The kind of mass mortality events worrying scientists are anomalous punctuations. They are not an evolved and reoccurring dynamic in a creature's life history, as the examples above are. They also, for the most part, don't discriminate. It's everything, top of the food chain all the way down. University of Arkansas biologist Simon Tai told me it's just a full-on decimation of the population. Most characteristically, these occurrences are dramatic. Experts have described them as a single events that wipe out huge chunks of population, kill more than 1 billion individuals, or leave behind 700 million tons of dead tissue. In the last, hey, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. It's a pretty hellacious storm just came out of nowhere out here.
Well, okay. Well, I'm glad it's a storm and not bombs, but
yeah,
it's
all
not
good.
Bombs. We were learning that a lot of animals are dying off, but they're blaming it on global warming.
Of course they are. I'm trying to load up the show notes. Hold on.
No problem. They said something about it being the H1N1 bird flu is killing sea lions. But what is killing the sea lions? Are they poisoning the oceans? What's going on here?
I don't know. There was a whole war against plastic straws at one point, but I'm just going to go out on the limb here and say that any increased death rate on a seal population is probably caused by like COVID mask. That's where I'm going with it. I mean,
no, you're right. The oceans have been flooded with these masks. They could be swallowing them. These are 770-pound creatures. Their mouths are at least this big.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that as a joke. Like,
no,
it's a problem.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was trying to figure out what was killing them. But you're right. It could be any number of things out in the ocean. But the mask thing definitely is rearing up.
I'm trying to open up all the chats here. See if I can get back over to Rumble. God damn it.
It's okay, man. Take your time. I'm going to jump into this article from Study Finds. Doctor Strange. Doctors are more extroverted, but also more neurotic than their patients. I believe that. It's from today. Queensland, Australia. The relationship between doctor and patient should be a sacred one, but it doesn't always feel that way. Doctors often don't click with their patients when it comes to personality, and that can make all the difference when discussing medical matters. Now, a fascinating new study out of Australia is shedding further light on this complex topic. Scientists report doctors are more extroverted, agreeable, and conscientious, but also more neurotic and less open to their patients. Study authors say their findings, based on an analysis of responses to two nationally representative Australian surveys, may hold clinical implications for the doctor-patient relationship. More specifically, the very selection and training of doctors may accentuate personality characteristics that differ from their patients, researchers explain. In turn, these differences can lead to mismatch between how doctors deliver information and how patients receive it. Are they trying to figure out how to get doctors to better convince us to get vaccinated?
I mean, if I had to bet, probably. But this was going into specifically like neurotics, which caught my attention. I'm like, what are y'all even studying?
Yeah,
Like,
I would say that
what is
part.
going on here?
Doctors think they have less control than patients. Okay, here we go. Study authors set out to determine if there were specific personality trait differences apparent between doctors and all of the other cohorts, as well as if there could be any equivalent differences between the two groups of medical specialists. The research team chose to place particular focus on the big 5 personality traits: conscientiousness, agreeableness, extrovertedness, neuroticism, and openness, in addition to locus of control, a belief in personal control over one's life as opposed to external factors such as fate and higher being and powerful people. The team used the term agreeableness to encapsulate empathy, kindness, cooperation, and warmth. Conscientiousness, covered the descriptors: orderly, systematic, efficient, careful, and organized. They defined extroverts as talkative, confident, loud, bold, and lively. Meanwhile, neurotics describe themselves as envious, moody, touchy, jealous, temperamental, and fretful. And openness applied to characteristics such as philosophical, creative, intellectual, complex, and imaginative. Doctors were more agreeable and extroverted than all other cohorts, but study authors also found them to be more neurotic. Both doctors and caring professionals were more agreeable than patients, yet doctors are significantly more agreeable than caring professionals. To the researchers' surprise, doctors were strongly believed they were being subjected to external forces beyond their control than the general public. While significant, this difference was relatively small, and study authors note there were no notable differences between doctors and patients, caring professionals, or the highly educated. Fluctuations between doctors across medical specialties were overall smaller than those between doctors and patients. In the public, family doctors displayed the highest level of agreeableness. And women in medicine appear to be more neurotic. I could have told you that. Women in general appear to be more neurotic from where I'm sitting. You good?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking and listening to the thunder.
You having a good night now?
I'm having a great night. Thank you for it. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I like looking at these types of things, these big 5 personality traits, and doing the Briggs-Meyer exam. I like doing those little quizzes and IQ tests that you find online. I'm a dork like that. How do you feel? I don't even have a doctor. How do you feel about your doctor? Is he neurotic?
I wouldn't define him as that way. I just feel like he's actually like really into sports. And he's kind of real with me and like cusses at me sometimes and is like, don't do that shit. Like, what are you fucking thinking? And I can relate to him because he speaks to me like a friend would. So like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, he's still contracted with Trinity Mother Francis. So, you know,
That's
fuck him.
Catholic.
And he's Jewish. So
God damn, you really are black pilled right now. Throwing shots across every bow. It's okay. We'll get you through this. Doctors are more okay. Yeah, we did that one. At my experiences with all the doctors that I've been through is that they're typically are like they want the nurses to deal with everything. They walk in and try to sell you some shit you don't need, and then some shit to take care of the side effects of that shit, and then they walk out, and then you're like, "But dude, my leg's broken," and they gave you antacid. That actually happened. That's a real story. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go to a shaman. Fuck around. I'll go to a shaman. Those dudes are based. They're so laid back, especially the ones. With
That's
the
what we're
ponytails.
gonna all have to start doing, dude.
What's that?
That's what we're all going to have to start doing. I mean, at the end of the day,
Going to a shaman.
we've gotten to the point right now where mainstream media, something that we thought we could trust, has turned out to be just evil as fuck. So these doctors. Now, this, I don't give medical advice, but what I'm saying is someone out there, if you came to them and said that you were suffering from, such and such ailment, and they said, let's go out for a jog, and you went out and ran 2 miles, and then they put you on a nice little diet for a week, and then all of a sudden your ailment's gone, I'm for that guy. I don't know what he is, but I'm for that person.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that documentary on Netflix? I forget what it's called now, but it's about people who got off their medicines and started eating naturally and natural foods, and all their symptoms went away and they didn't deal with the side effects.
I've never watched that, but I'm for that.
Maybe it's a nutritionist.
But he doesn't have an 8 to 10 year, doctorate, from some prominent university.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, yeah.
But then at the same time, if I had a heart attack, I wouldn't want to go to some shaman.
Good point.
Out in the fucking desert,
No, that's
So I
a
don't
good
know.
point. Yeah. There needs to be a middle. Because here's the thing. If you did exactly what you just said, if you went and did like an all natural diet first and foremost, got all the shit that you're putting in your body out of your body. And then if that doesn't work, whatever's left over, whatever issues you're having, then go to a doctor. At least then you're not taking harmful medicines to cover up for your poor behavior. Take a little bit of responsibility before you just start shoveling chemicals in your body, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
We're gonna start a science. See, look, parallel economy. We are officially going into the unofficial training program, personal training program. So go ahead and sign up. You can just follow us on Twitter, the Erroneous Cast, and we will get you on a natural diet and get you started to feel good. Not medical advice. I was going to share that article, but it was already shared. Maybe Zelensky's got some dough. Maybe he could be our first customer. This is from the AP. Zelensky wants Putin on trial. Russia accuses U.S. on drones.
Play that.
Okay. Hague. Oh, okay. ICC, International Criminal Court. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has visited the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands during a surprise visit. The ICC had an arrest warrant for Russia President Vladimir Putin in April.
Pause.
Of course, we all.
That's that guy. If you rewind it a little bit, you can see who everybody was calling the body double, but apparently he's a bodyguard for Zelensky.
I bet he is now. I'd put him out as a guard after that. Yeah.
Fast forward just a tad. Sorry, I just wanted to point this out. Keep going.
Like all the way up here?
Yeah, keep going until it shows that crowd again. Apparently, it's not going to. There may be a delay between. He's in this shot here.
Oh,
right there.
Oh, yeah.
In the black. In the black. You see him over there?
There he is right there. You see him?
That fucking guy. That's who everybody was saying was this body double for Zelensky. But apparently he really is some type of security for him. I just wanted to point that out because we'd covered it in the past on the broadcast. But yeah, go ahead.
Look, in all fairness, if I had a bunch of money and I had my boys with me, I'd dress them in the same clothes just for, clout. It's just like you walk into a room with your boys and you're all like in the same gear and you just.
I feel that.
Anyways. I went way too far back.
But yeah, I mean, you don't even have to show all this. It's just him arriving there. We've already talked about the International Criminal Court and these countries. Some are saying that they would arrest him. Some are saying that they wouldn't. This is just more of that. He met with them today. Apparently, they're trying to get an arrest. It'll never happen. Putin's not a fucking idiot, people. You think he'd go to any country with his security detail where he felt like he'd be arrested? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, we're good.
I'm just so done.
Well, I don't even what RTE. What is the .ie? What country is that? IE. Anyways, looks like world news. Russian drone attack Kyiv. Moscow says U.S. behind Kremlin drone. Okay, we're kind of like easing into the whole drone thing, I think. But Russian drones attacked the Ukrainian capital Kyiv tonight, the fourth assault in as many days, subjecting residents to waves of gunfire and explosions. At least one drone was shot down. City authorities have declared an alert for Kyiv and the surrounding area. Residents who had gone to air raid shelters said the drones arrived more quickly than usual after the alerts were declared. Ukraine's Air Force said in a statement that it had destroyed one of its own drones after the drone lost control of the Kyiv region, probably because of a technical failure. It was not clear how many drones in total were destroyed. Earlier, Russia said the United States was behind a purported drone attack on the Kremlin in Moscow, aiming to kill President Vladimir Putin. Did we really? Washington and Kyiv denied involvement.
Well, look, Russia is blaming the United States for the drone that hit the Kremlin, which is pretty much like their White House. That's where he's at. It was shot down. The footage that I saw looked a little suspicious. I'm not going to lie.
I think I got that.
But apparently there were some drones that hit the Kremlin. And people are trying to figure out where they come from. The only three culprits you have here are the United States, the Russians, and the Ukrainians. So it's one of the three. We just have to do our job as people who are interested in news and figuring out motives and shit. And we just have to speculate pretty much at the end of the day. That's where we are right now. Yeah, fuck me.
Well, look, Russia's apparently can't stop bombing itself for some reason. Those stories are a little awkward that keep coming out, but it could be them. If it is Ukraine, let's face it, it's us anyways. So yeah, I mean, it's most likely that we send. It'd be like Finland.
True.
Wait. Okay. So, anyways, that happened. I think there's video footage in the next link. Yep.
This is just all so depressing.
Is it getting to you?
A little bit.
A drone being hit right over Kyiv Central Square, Maiden. Just imagine. Oh, I need to share this. Just imagine anything like this happening in your city. Oh, you're right. That does look a little. Are you talking about?
Watch it. This is. I mean,
very low to the ground for a drone.
Watch this.
There's a lot of fire going on.
I don't know. I don't know about that shit, y'all.
something. Yeah, it. I don't want to be like it's fake, but
What before it even hits, it explodes. I mean, you could say that's the exhaust. I don't know. Doesn't look like a missile,
so
but I'm an idiot. I don't know.
no. Well, look, there's a. I don't know if you can see that, but right there's like a little, something like a bullet. I would imagine firing,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a few more. There's
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
they're like, well, it's like they're firing at it and missing, but the thing is, the one that actually hits it is huge compared to all of the other ones on the screen. Look, like that sucker's big. And it
Yeah,
does.
that would have to be some type of missile, not an artillery shell.
That looks like a sperm inseminating an egg. I guess they really fucked it up.
I don't know. But a lot of people are saying that the Russians are using this as some form of false flag attack to justify some type of retaliation against against Zelensky. Zelensky has came out and publicly denied this attack. He said that was not us, fearing for his own safety. Because let's just say the Russians did stage this, which they very well could have.
China could.
They're staging it. They're staging it for a reason, and they're going to use it as some form of momentum to go after Zelensky. And look, if Zelensky dies within the next week, it really wouldn't surprise me. I'll just go on record. I don't care because they're doing this for a reason. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying things set up the way they are right now. Russia is looking for a reason, and they know they can do it. And for Zelensky to come out publicly today and say that wasn't us, that wasn't us, that just shows
they're in
extreme
trouble.
fear.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't think about that. You're right. That that's very plausible. It's scary, and it's smart. It's smart from a strategic angle because Ukraine has done that so much, releasing lies, telling the world all these lies. Russia did this, doing things themselves. And then the one time Russia does it, it counts because now you're right. They have leverage. They're like, somebody did it. Now we have retaliation rights. And I don't know if they're going to use them, but
it'd be a waste of a cheap drone. If not,
Yeah.
I mean, and all the publicity along with it. They're doing this for a reason, and it may just be to scare Zelensky. But at the same time, I feel like it's all out there on the table at this point, and it's literally a committee of individuals gathered around Putin who are discussing war strategy, and it's came up before. Should we take him out now or later? So I don't know.
Yeah, this could have shortened the war by like 3 years, but maybe not in a good way. We'll have to see. Definitely an escalation of events, but we'll have to see what the outcome is. Can you see through a nuclear holocaust? I'm just kidding. We're not going there. It's not happening, guys. This is Paris right now. Hey, Weiland. All the way back there. That's got to be... Well, it's a lot of people.
That shit looks like... I mean, it looks like fucking Central Park in New York or something. And it's coming here soon. So y'all just
Stormtroopers.
get used to seeing this type of shit because people are fed up.
Well, Yeah, Washington D.C. They always have gates up around all the capitals and everything. It's like they're always prepared for a riot. And when's the last time there was even a riot in Washington D.C.? January 6th. Nobody's going back there. Are you kidding me?
Everybody always just says, just pray about it, trust the plan, all this stuff. Look, what's the fucking plan? When one of y'all lays out a plan to me, and I'm able to track it, and date wise and what's going to happen, then okay. But until then, I'm sorry, but I'm a pessimist tonight. I don't care.
Well, here's the thing, though. I just to be fair, man, because this is why, if you guys ever wonder why I am kind of like, oh, there might be a plan, is like because it's not so much a Q thing, because I was a conscientious observer of all that, so I'm not going to pretend like that's not in some way affecting my probability engine. But right here, this was like the next thing to come out, which was the Devolution series, which has its own set of conspiracy around it for those of you that like that, but you probably already know about it. But the guy that supposedly wrote the papers, and you can find them on Substack, and I think there's like 16 now of these kind of technically complicated papers, but they describe a country in a state of devolution, and they describe a president in exile, and they describe a process, and they describe where the country is actually at in terms of our internal processes and logistics and things that that keep us running, or like and how they're on like a fallback system and all kinds of other stuff. Very interesting, but also you can find people that will read these papers to you. So they're long. I think the videos are average like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours for a paper. But I don't know. I mean, and you can't really call bullshit on any of it. A lot of it makes sense, and it's closely tied up to Patel, Kash Patel, who is a very respected person. I don't know, man. I'm losing my words here, but like you guys know who Kash Patel is. So I don't know, if you think he's valuable, then it might be worth looking at. And the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because it kind of describes what's next in a way. The Law of War manual, things like that. I've poked into all of it, and there is definitely more going on than what meets the eye. All right. It's like a transformer. But anyways, I'll get off of it. Devolution series, just search it. Don't be so down. You lose when you let them win. God, I'm gonna start writing greeting cards after this. Mm-hmm. Oh, bad link. India. Oh yeah, shit's popping off in India, but I fucked up the link. So we will skip that and go to Canada. All 3 wildfires in Alberta in the same view line. Big fires happening in Canada. It's barely spring. 1, 2, 3. Hope Raleigh's okay. Can't remember what parts he's in. Like, I know the layout of Canada anyways. You okay?
Yeah.
All right, Breitbart News. Footage posted originally on Twitter features the sound of controlled explosions outside Buckingham Palace in London on Tuesday. A man had thrown what was thought to be shotgun shells into the palace grounds. Law enforcement carried out a controlled detonation on the package. Did you hear about this?
Mm-hmm.
Olive King, you are fighting alone, baby, you're not. What the was that? What the hell was that? Whoa! The gun salute, I think. That scared the crap out of me. Sorry, excuse the language, ladies and gentlemen. What's happened?
What's happened? somebody threw shotgun shells into the palace grounds. It's a weird thing to throw on the palace grounds.
It's probably why they're implementing all this CCTV and all this shit. They're worried about some type of an attack. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
No, you're
I've been
fine.
drinking tonight. It's my fault. I'm fucked up.
Dude, I was riding shotgun and driving today too. I get it. No worries, man. You just chill, relax. I got this. Hop in anytime you want to, but don't worry about it. I appreciate you hopping on here. We almost didn't do the show tonight, so anything we can get out of it. Research monkey shortage undermines U.S. readiness, panel says. There's a shortage of monkeys available for medical research, and the U.S. should expand its breeding program rather than rely on international suppliers to solve it, an influential scientific advisory panel said Thursday. Studies using non-human primates, especially monkeys, have been critical to life-saving medical advances, including creating vaccines against COVID-19 because of their similarities to people. The U.S. funds colonies on national primate centers, but supplies were tight and more animals were regularly imported even before the pandemic. Then China, once a leading supplier, ended exports of research monkeys in 2020 as scientists everywhere needed more for coronavirus studies. And last fall, the U.S. filed charges to stop a Cambodian smuggling ring accused of shipping endangered wild monkeys in place of those bred for research, further constraining supplies. Further, Thursday's report examined only research funded by the National Institute of Health deemed key to responding to public health emergencies, not drug companies or other publicly or privately funded research with monkeys. The nation's preparedness is undermined by having to depend on imports of these animals, which are especially important for infectious disease research and neuroscience, said a panel of national academics, the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. Highlighting that vulnerability, the U.S. experienced a 20% drop in imports of one species, Cynomolgus macaques, when China suddenly stopped shipping. The panel also called for more development of alternatives to monkey testing, and in the meantime urged better scientific collaboration to make the best use of each research animal. What do you think about that?
I think it's fucked up to be experimenting on monkeys. And that's where I'm at with it.
Do you really think that it's furthering the human good, even with the science? I like to think that there wasn't like evil science that was running everything, that they wouldn't need to experiment on monkeys.
Yeah, if our government could just focus on things that already exist and not create things in biolabs, and then I'd be all right with it. But we're fucked.
And don't let Elon have the monkeys. You know what he's going to do with them? Plugs chips at everything.
Pigs, from what I've seen so far, Elon, and I respect him. I'll go on record and say, but at the same time, he's putting chips in pigs. I don't know.
Agreed. That's where I'm at with it too. It's like I want to like him so much, but why are you doing these things? Stop it.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm just along for the ride.
Hey. Do you want to read some articles?
I can.
Okay.
I'll take the one after this.
Okay. This is from The Hill. Michigan school district bans backpacks over. They used to make them clear. Now you just can't have them over safety concerns. This is from today. Michigan, where all the water is, public schools in Flint are enforcing a policy banning backpacks, including those made of clear plastic materials, amid concerns over firearms, weapons, and threats. The Flint Board of Education voted 7-0 to ban backpacks for the remainder of the school year. The new policy allows small purses for personal items, clear plastic bags for gym clothes, and lunch boxes within reason. They'll also be subject to searches. Flint Community Schools Superintendent Kevin Jones said things have changed, and it's the only way to move forward. For the most part, the majority of our families are putting in measures before something happens, he said. Jones said backpacks make it easier for students to hide weapons. This new policy comes amid the ongoing debate and discussions of how to keep kids safe while in school was reignited after a gunman shot and killed 6 people, including 3 9-year-olds at a private Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee last month. Flint, Michigan, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so wait. So the reason why they're banning the clear backpacks is because that happened in Tennessee?
Yeah, they'll use one particular instance to pass whatever bullshit they want to pass.
So what do kids carry around nowadays? Do they put the do they have their
I don't know.
The textbooks? Do they have them on the iPads now? So that's the way that works. So what, their backpack should just have an iPad in it.
Which is probably what they're moving towards. I don't have a kid in school right now, but I do know that they my brother's kids do all have iPads. And their whole curriculum is like uploaded onto it, and it's also how the parents can track the grades and all that type of shit. So yeah, I mean, it's going there.
So also Flint, Michigan, the water situation, right? Their water was poisoned during the Obama administration.
Right.
All of the wealthier citizens probably left that area, leaving the ghetto of people that didn't have enough money to move out, which they put them into a poorer state because they lost a lot of, societal activity that kind of held up the support system around there, leaving them in further squalor. And I don't know that they didn't say that they have a gun problem. It said because of Nashville, this is why they're doing it. But maybe I don't know. This is nuts. They should have cleaned that water up years ago.
Yeah.
Last week, a teacher was grazed by a bullet when a handgun accidentally went off in a classroom in Knoxville, Tennessee. Police said a 14-year-old student was charged in the incident and the gun was inside the backpack. In January, a 6-year-old brought a handgun to the Virginia elementary school, which he reportedly brought in his backpack before he used it to shoot his 25-year-old teacher. We live in a world that appears to be more dangerous for both parents and children, and especially schools are at a target, said psychotherapist Dr. Roby Ludwig. That's why Jones is being proactive with the backpack bans. He says adds another layer of safety. Well, that's just fucking great.
I know.
I feel like just you and me alone, but like all of us here together, like sipping on, Maticus is hanging out, Jenny, of course, Nicole, like everybody that hangs out here, Critical Thought, anybody that like walks through this doorway together, like we are the monkeys with the typewriters in the room that could solve the world's problems, because really they're not that complicated. They just require solutions. Let's get some solutions out there. There's a way to educate kids, like to send children to a place to get a real education on the daily without having to worry about their safety. This is dumb. We do this to ourselves.
I agree. There's a healthcare emergency happening because of the Biden's open southern border. It's not COVID. It is fentanyl, leading to the death of more than 70,000 Americans. Let's go out to the southern border. Real quick.
There is a healthcare crisis happening because of our southern border. It is fentanyl. COVID is done, but fentanyl leading to the deaths of 70,000 Americans is a healthcare crisis that we can prevent by reinstating Title 42 for the current healthcare emergency. There is a healthcare crisis happening because of
So that was just Tim Scott.
God damn, man.
There's 10,000 illegal immigrants crossing the border every day. And according to him, it's not COVID, it's fentanyl, leading to the death of more than 70,000 Americans annually. Which I think is kind of low. Maybe is that day? It can't be by the day. It's got to be annually. I don't know.
Say
It didn't point it out.
75,000.
Said 70,000 Americans are dying from fentanyl.
That's a lot per day, but then that doesn't seem like enough per year considering the pandemic that's going on.
That's why I pointed that out, because I would think it's like somewhere close to 200,000-300,000 a year.
Yeah.
But
you know, it's funny. Flint, Michigan's elementary school has more of a border policy than our United States border. They need to start banning clear backpacks at the border and pockets. Sipping on, yeah, we got to start banning pockets around here. No more pockets. Nobody has pockets.
I'm turning slowly into the pessimistic one of this duo, and I'm sorry, but we're all fucked.
Don't listen to him. I got to play good cop. Now we are fucked.
What I'm trying to find where, and even the broadcast right now is fucked. Like, where am I?
Look. Oh well, right here, border again.
Okay. Yeah, we're fucked though.
Say it again. I don't think they heard you in the back.
We're fucked. Y'all check this out. This is I've tried to be optimistic, but there's no reason to be anymore. Texas happening now. Hundreds of migrants just showed up here in Brownsville to self-surrender to Border Patrol after crossing the Rio Grande or Grande.
There you go, G.
Into the U.S. illegally. According to Title 42, it's still in place for another week. The majority of migrants are being processed and released with the NTA or a notice to appear under what the secretary calls removal proceedings. So let's just go out there. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop laughing at you, but you're funny tonight. Sad, but funny. Welcome to our new neighbors.
There you go. That was it. I mean, you see them rolling up. You see them all lined up out there.
Turning themselves in so that they can be... Because, you know, the punishment for crossing the border illegally is you get 3 acres and a mule.
Well, they're all trans now, so it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Oh, my God. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They're skipping across the border. This is a problem.
Look. So a fight has broken out between Russia and Ukrainian delegates at a conference in Turkey. A Russian delegate grabbed a flag from the hands of a Ukrainian MP, sparking this physical altercation. Y'all check it out. I haven't seen this video, so I'm watching it with at least the chat together because I've never seen this shit. Anyways, y'all check it out. Oh shit.
We're gonna fight for this flag. Please. Yes.
Jay, I could not hear anything you were saying. I saw you talking, but it was just silent. It was you were muted. You're muted right now. You were muted the whole fucking
The
time.
whole time. I was just giving you the floor. I can't control my speaking, but I can mute myself. Give you some time. Flex your wings a little. My bad. But no,
I'm not trying to flex. I'm literally I'm cowering down, and I'm you know how birds do, like, you know, when
pigeons.
they're not dead, but they're just like, all right, I'm just gonna lie here. That's kind of where I'm at.
What kind of birds are you hanging out with?
Well, birds do that. Yeah, look up a jaguar when it grabs a bird. The bird will just give up. It don't flop. I mean, it's just like, all right, I'm willing. You know, that kind of deal.
You're freaking me out tonight.
I don't know why. Like, I'm just done.
I think you just need a good night's sleep.
There's no hope. The world is going to shit, hell in a handbasket, and there's nothing. Despite everything, we're just a small podcast, but there's big podcasts out there doing the same thing, and apparently we just can't win. It's an imminent collapse. Our dollar's going down. The banks are going down. World War III is coming, whether we want to admit it or not. And like, I just wish I was a little bit older. But you know what? Fuck it. I don't care anymore.
Okay, well, admittedly, you gave me chills a little bit. Sipanon said that old Russian guy did not see that coming, and respect for that. And then he also said melancholy foul, which I believe is what you call this, fouling on your melancholy.
I know I'm being a little bitch. I'll get over it. But
look, I spend probably 8 hours a day trying to build businesses, driving for delivery services, grinding, not just worried about money right now, but I got to make money right now. But then I'm trying to build stuff for the future so that I don't have to work as hard in the future, and that I can do more things. And I'm doing it not just because of money. I'm doing it for, you know, the accomplishment of things, because I've always had to work on something. I've always got something that's going, and that's what matters to me. But that's my 30-foot bubble, and the only thing that's going to stop me from doing that is if I have to give up time to work on a project that's not making me money, because I have to put more time into making money, because I need more money to survive. Which in a way, things have tightened up over the last year for everybody, right? And at a certain point, I really hope it doesn't ever get to this, but there might be a point where I can't work enough. There's nothing I can do, just like there's nothing any of y'all could do to survive at that point, right? So that could end up being a problem, but it isn't here yet. And like I said the past couple of podcasts, like, you really cannot. It's all a mind game. So if you roll over and you let them win, then they won. But until then, they can't win. You are the guardian of their, like, you hold all the cards. You just have to keep your mind right. And staying in your 30-foot bubble and working on something and trying to be successful and trying to make something last and protecting yourself is the way you need to do it. I don't believe in giving up or giving in. That's why I'm so fucking hard on everybody. I guess
I feel you, man.
Two different sides of the spectrum.
No, I respect you for that, man. Cheers.
What is okay? Well, I think what episode? Oh, we didn't have the episode number on there. Episode 43 must be like a bad number. Are you doing?
Oh shit, my bad.
It's okay, man. I'll mark it.
God damn it! All right, I'm gonna get through these fucking links tonight, but y'all just know that I'm, you know,
pray for the drifter.
My head's not in the game. Yeah, pray for the drifter. Hold on.
You don't want to do them, man. You can just sit back. I don't mind.
All right, let's go out here to this Soros-backed prosecutor. Type of shit we have to deal with. A Soros-backed prosecutor, Kim Gardner, resigns from office. St. Louis Circuit attorney. What the fuck? St. Louis. I can't do this, Jay.
That's okay. You reminded me of myself like 2 nights ago. Did the same shit, man.
I apologize, but I can't. I've drank too many beers tonight. I can't. And it's my fault.
It's fuck, where are we though?
All right.
Okay, I got it.
St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kimberly Gardner, a George Soros-backed prosecutor, resigned from office Thursday in the face of bipartisan calls for her to do so. Gardner's office posted her resignation letter to Twitter, who said that, quote, people outside of the city have, quote, targeted her and fundamental rights of the city's voters. We have experienced an onslaught of records requests that no office in the country could reasonably fulfill, along with attacks on hardworking line attorneys designed to demoralize these public servants. She said, "There's no sign of the onslaught would stop us for as long as I'm in office." Fuck them. I don't care what they say.
Well, this is contending that the external oversight efforts had undermined the office and that partisan legislation might eliminate the city's rights to elect its circuit attorney. This is a weird. She's saying that they're being overwhelmed by records requests, and she thinks, and then her quitting a Soros-backed prosecutor, and she says quitting her job would somehow, either she doesn't want to deal with it anymore. She's like, well, fuck them, I'm just going to leave, or she thinks it's going to stop it. But then she's also worried about her affecting her constituents. This is, I don't know what's going on over there.
Typical politician.
Yeah.
Fake as fuck.
Well, I'm wondering if the jig is up for the Soros-backed politicians. I'm wondering if they're going to start falling out of office.
And where I'm at is like, who of them aren't Soros-backed? Give me that fucking list.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, it'd be a shorter list.
I'm so done.
Good news. We're at the end. I don't even know. I don't know. Here, breaking. Passengers evacuated from JetBlue flight at LAX after man claims bomb in suitcase after missing his flight. Oh, currently there are multiple law enforcement and bomb squad personnel at the scene investigating a suspicious package. Passengers on JetBlue flight 879 have been evacuated. This was prompted by an individual who missed their JetBlue flight from Las Vegas to LAX and called in a bomb threat, claiming there was a bomb in their suitcase. What they do? They dropped their suitcase off at the airport and then went back home and skipped their flight. Now, did it didn't follow up?
I wanted to get the follow up off this. This was breaking like kind of right before we went live. So I don't know what happened, but I haven't seen any breaking news that like the plane blew up. So apparently they got everybody off safely. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Probably a fake call-in.
End of the airport, and it all started with this JetBlue.
No, it was a man on the plane who said, "I have a bomb in my briefcase."
Oh,
you know, he was just wilding the fuck out on a JetBlue flight.
Well, that's weird.
From Las Vegas to Los Angeles. Apparently there was a disgruntled passenger on board who missed his flight, but apparently his luggage did not, and he claimed that he might have had a bomb in his luggage. So
no, okay, because they say there was a disgruntled passenger on board that missed his flight, but his luggage did not. What does that mean? Was he on the plane or was he not? If he was on the plane, he didn't miss his flight.
That's a good question. I missed that part initially. I didn't hear that.
It's not clear at all. It's very weird.
Obviously, that set off a lot of alarms. I have to imagine that that person is now in custody and being questioned. But this is the plane that he was scheduled to be on, so no precautions. An abundance of caution, I should say, is being taken. All the passengers have long since been taken off of this plane, and now we're waiting for LA City Fire's bomb squad to get to the scene here so that they can scan all of the luggage and hopefully find out that there is indeed no bomb.
Oh, that sucks for all the passengers. Their luggage is going to be gone through.
Yeah. Fuck.
Man. Massive Duff Dessel. Oh man. Massive dust devil demolishes man's fruit stand while he watches returns to hit again. This man's being harassed by a dust devil.
Just trying to, prop up a fruit stand, and there's life.
There's life. That is such a massive. I'm gonna turn the sound off, but that is such a massive tornado or dust devil, I guess. But I never see him that big.
His fruit stand is gone, dude.
Yes, all the fruit spinning around in circles. And then it's supposed to go away, right? And then it comes back, which is even more fucked because it's like, oh, now we can rebuild. Oh no, it's back.
Oh yeah. You're a good guy. You're out here raising or generating money for your family. You love them. Oh no, fuck you.
Maybe he cheaped out and used DeSanto or what is it? Monsanto.
Dude, I can't.
Maybe it was righteous vindication.
I wish I could play along tonight, but I fucking suck because I'm being very pessimistic.
That's
and
great.
No, dude, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think it's great. I'm a little worried about you, but it's great content. Keep it up, but we might have to talk after this. The scientist who led COVID surge fired over sex misconduct. WHO. Oh, yeah, because they all do that. The scientist who led COVID surge fired over sex misconduct. This is from the National Post. Today, okay. The World Health Organization said it has fired the scientist who led a high-profile delegation from the UN Health Agency to China 2 years ago to jointly look into the origins of the coronavirus pandemic, citing sexual misconduct. Peter Ben Embarek, who led the WHO side of a joint team with scientists in China, was dismissed last year. The health agency said. WHO said it has stepped up efforts to root out sexual abuse, exploitation, harassment in recent months after a string of cases and incidents were reported in the press. I wonder if they saw the pictures of the guy who was at the party that is the head of the WHO, but he was like dressed in booty shorts and a crop top.
Yeah, I don't know. They're all into freaky shit. I don't keep up with them. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, like what are they trying to recover their image of being weirdos?
We're done, folks.
We're not done. There's so much more pain to go through. No?
I hope not, but you know what?
You know what I say?
What?
I say that the worse things get, the more potential there is for things to get better, and the more you're going to appreciate them once they do, because you'll understand how shitty it can be more than you would otherwise. So you always have that to potentially look forward to.
Amen, brother.
I kind of want to hug you or something. I don't know. You're freaking me out, man. You're freaking me out.
Don't let me freak you out, man. I'm just vibing.
Am I freaking you out?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I already know we're fucked.
CNBC. Virgin Islands issued subpoena to Google co-founder Larry Page in lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase over Jeffrey Epstein. The government of the U.S. Virgin Islands has tried without success so far to serve a subpoena on Google co-founder Larry Page for documents for its civil lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase related to sex trafficking by the bank's longtime customer Jeffrey Epstein in a court filing revealed Thursday. Whoa. So this is an update. So the Virgin Islands was suing JP Morgan Chase over funding, essentially, or managing the money of Jeffrey Epstein's ventures. And I didn't know that they had subpoenaed Google co-founder Larry Page for documents. So I wonder what documents, if they are just because Google's Google and they kind of had documents on every communication, all that, because you use Google, or if it's because Larry Page is somehow tied up with JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein.
True.
This could have potential, but again, I mean, they're not having any luck getting those documents, so we'll have to see what happens there. We are looking for some kind of block that makes all this go away, so we'll see. We'll see if they get past this one. The USVI formally asked Manhattan Federal Court Judge Jed Rakoff to authorize the government to serve Page with that subpoena through a so-called alternative means, since its efforts to have a process server physically give it to him have failed to date, because they can't find him. He's probably on an island somewhere. Alternative service can include mailing the legal papers, publishing them on public news sites, or emailing them. Larry Page, co-founder and co-owner of Alphabet Inc., is a high net worth individual who Epstein may have referred or attempted to refer to JP Morgan as a customer, lawyers from the USVI said in their court filing. So, all right, well, either way, I mean, they're subpoena to Page demands all documents from 2002 onward related to communication between Page and JP Morgan regarding Epstein, and all documents between Page and Epstein related to the bank. Yeah, I mean, if they end up tying Larry Page to the Epstein thing in a meaningful way, that cracks Google.
I agree there.
I can't think of what happens after that.
I don't think it goes anywhere. I think that in typical fashion, this shit will be brushed under the rug somehow, and nothing will ever come of it.
Well, so
too powerful.
I don't want to say you're wrong, because we've been saying that for weeks because it's the safe bet. But we keep getting updates and they keep getting juicier. So I'm just pointing that out. But that being said, I'm going to get back in your boat because it's the safe boat. I don't like drowning. So even though the boat that you're currently in tonight we're all doomed. So still
yeah,
safe.
we're fucked. We're all fucked. Don't be on my boat.
Rude. You like that? You guys like that? I just got kicked off the boat. Whatever.
No, I'm just saying, y'all. This boat. Just be careful. Anyways, go ahead.
Wait, this is from the Intelligencer. New York Magazine. Okay, maybe that's an ad. Who are the newly revealed Jeffrey Epstein associates? Really? We got some newly revealed associates. Okay. A multi-part report from the Wall Street Journal has revealed a number of additional prominent people who were associates of Jeffrey Epstein. Zooming in on this. Their ties to the notorious sex trafficker and longtime high society hobnobber were not previously known, having not appeared in Epstein's infamous Black Book or in the public flight logs of passengers who traveled aboard his private jet before his jailhouse death in 2019 while awaiting trial. The new reports also deepen public understanding of the ties between Epstein and some bold-faced names who he had previously been associated with, and they underscored just how frequently Epstein met with high-flying pals. On Friday, the Journal delved into his packed itinerary for just one day, September 8, and found that he planned to meet with 4 extremely wealthy men: Bill Gates, Leon Black, Thomas Pritzker, and Mortimer Zuckerman. The Journal discovered the names after it obtained a previously unreported trove of documents, including thousands of emails and Epstein's private schedule dating from 2013 to 2017. This was all after Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008 to soliciting and procuring a minor for prostitution in Florida, and at least some of the time period was after Epstein was publicly accused of sex trafficking by victim Virginia Giuffre in 2015. Or Jeffrey. Is it Jeffrey or Giuffre?
Sipanon says maybe D should read a few real raw news articles, and that should give him hope if he pretends it's true.
Just pretend.
Are you talking about Raw's alerts? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, really, I don't. That's my fault too, because I just don't know what article you're quoting there. But even if I did know, I'd probably just tell you that's bullshit too, and we're fucked. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, it's from Daily Mail.
I'm trying to make it through this episode,
dude. I really don't want to do this without you, but if I understand if you're not feeling good or whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick, really, to my stomach and my head.
Okay.
So, like, respectfully, and y'all keep the podcast in mind too. I'll be back, but I need to go.
That's okay, man. Would you get some sleep?
Everybody take care.
Okay. Well, it's okay. Sometimes stuff happens, but I'm going to finish this up. We've just got a little bit to go. Journalist cries as she testifies how Trump kissed and pushed her against Mar-a-Lago wall while pregnant Melania was getting dressed in another room. Promised steak and best sex you'll ever have. Okay. Good pickup lines. A journalist took the stand today to tell Donald Trump sexually assaulted her at his Florida estate while his pregnant wife was getting changed for a photo shoot in another room. Natasha Stoyanov cried as she told the court how Trump pushed her up against a wall and kissed her at Mar-a-Lago in 2005 when she was writing a story to celebrate his first wedding anniversary to Melania. Stoyanov said that after a butler walked in, they went back to the photo shoot where Trump promised to take her for a steak meal and give her the best sex you'll ever have. The testimony came during the battery and defamation trial brought by advice columnist E. Jean Carroll against Trump. This court heard Trump will not be mounting any defense at all after his sole witness had a medical problem. He has already failed to appear in person at the court in Manhattan. So what do you think about that, Jay? You know what? Honestly, there's people coming. There's women coming out. There has been for a couple of years coming out in all types of situations that have ended up lying. There's the Marilyn Manson thing where the women are now admitting they lied. The Andrew Tate thing where the women are now admitting that they lied. There was the, what was that judge? He cried They tore the man's life up, and he was obviously not. He was not a guy that had any game. And also, the victim looked just like him. They could have been related. So there was some theories it was him in a wig, playing both parts. I don't know what kind of weird ass humiliation ritual that is, but that being said, I mean, that they ruin it for anybody that might have an actual story, but it's just it's always convenient. It's always from a long time ago. It's always there's never like, look, the photo, the butler walked in. How much you want to bet he was an old guy and now he's passed? Oh, convenient. No witness. So I don't know. It's just, it gets annoying. Drifter's not wrong. It is annoying because they just keep recycling. They can't even come up with anything new to try to trick us. They're just like, no, believe this shit again. Okay. I believe it. And Bud Light's in trouble. Bud Light is in big trouble. There's an organic real boycott happening. Fenway Park. Nobody buying Budweiser beers. No one is buying Bud Light at the Red Sox game.
Here at Fenway Park, your boss.
I'm not sure what platform we're on here, but yeah. So that's the Bud Light line, and this is one video, but all the other lines have it's not packed, but there's a good amount of people, and nobody wants to be the one buying Bud Light. All the fridges are full. And then he goes out into Fenway Park, and there's no Bud Light, or I don't even think there's any Anheuser-Busch advertisements. Yeah, so I guess the thing about the boycott is that the earnings are being affected by the boycott. Earnings drop at the end of every quarter. They usually come out like a month after, but the bigwigs, the in the know people, they all kind of get a sense of what's going to happen ahead of time. They get to buy or sell before anybody else. But the earnings being lower than expected, or even if they get above expected, but it's expected to be bad, the price is going to drop dramatically. It's really what you're looking for. But being in being in May now, we're a little over 30 days into the second quarter of the year. So earnings should be coming out with a lot of companies right now. But even then, we might have to wait till the third quarter to get the second quarter's earnings really see the effect. But again, I'm just saying that if I won't be impressed until I see the stock price go below $35 a share. That's when I'll be like, oh, okay, we do have some kind of purchasing power on the economy. So this guy sure is passionate about defending something that isn't really happening. Let's see what he's doing.
Because I'm not going to give a platform to
So he walks up to these people. This guy's giving an interview to this old man. He comes out of nowhere. Let's hear what he has to say.
You were the same person that ran away.
Why don't you present
you want to have a conversation?
No, I'm not going to have a conversation because I'm not going to give a platform to you fucking Nazis. Why don't you go home?
You can't explain
and
your
quit being
position?
such fucking losers. My position is I care about human rights and I care about people living their lives and minding their own fucking business and not being in my face with stupid fucking cameras. So
But you walked
why don't
over
you
here.
just get out of
We
here?
can bring down the volume a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. I am
We're gonna
trying to make a
respectfully
scene because you guys.
Can I
care
ask you
about
a couple
genociding
questions?
Trans people.
That's
No,
not
you're not going to ask me
genociding?
shit.
Do you think it's okay to sterilize children?
None of this shit is actually happening. You guys are fucking
Really?
dumb.
Really?
You're cherry-picking.
Kids aren't getting puberty blockers. What is not happening that
I'm
he's
not putting
claiming?
myself on this platform. You guys are fucking idiot losers.
Well, you just
Goodbye.
put yourself on
You're
it.
the one inserting yourself into the platform.
Go home, you fucking redneck loser.
Is that the best argument you can marshal?
That is, it is.
Yeah, so a quick case study. The guy thinks he's the platform. Where he goes, that's the platform. These guys aren't even filling it. They're like, what's his problem? All right, everyone's kind of looking at him like, what the hell? And he walked up and inserted himself into an actual person's content where they're going to share it out. They have an audience, they have people, and he walked up into it and inserted himself and was like, I'm not giving you all a platform. I'm not giving you an interview. And he had nothing of value to say. It's almost impressive. And of course, the shoes are pink. Just saying. It's like peacocking. This is weird. Proud Boys members convicted of seditious conspiracy in January 6th case. This is from PBS, so it might not give the important part of the story here, but let's see. It's from today. A jury convicted members of the far-right extremist group, the Proud Boys, for their involvement in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. A federal jury found 4 Proud Boys guilty of seditious conspiracy, including the group's former leader, Enrico Tarrio, and members Ethan Nordian, Joseph Biggs, and Zachary Rell. And Amna Nawaz discussed the case with Carrie Johnson of NPR. A federal jury today found 4 members of the Proud Boys guilty of seditious conspiracy that includes the group's former leader, Enrique Tarrio, along with members Ethan, Joseph, and Zachary. A 5th member, Dominic Pizzola, was found not guilty of seditious conspiracy, but he and the others were convicted of obstruction of and destruction of property. And Attorney General Merrick Garland spoke about the Justice Department's victory earlier today. I'm a little confused about this because they got stopped at the airport on January 6th, from what I saw. Maybe it was just the leaders, but even then, one of them got charged. They weren't at the Capitol. They didn't see Ashley Babbitt get carried out on the stretcher. Almost nobody was at the Capitol during that time. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to, but. And also, it's not going to say it in here. This is a conversation that I don't want to read. And plus, it's going to be very slanted, just like my take's going to be on the other side. So whatever. But they don't mention the part where the court contradicts itself in its own claims of crime. So the crimes in itself is a contradiction based on the events. I can't remember exactly what those are, but it's very weird. I think that the whole Proud Boy thing is weird, and then you mix in I don't know, everything from like the leaders like making out with other dudes, I guess, to try to be cool with the gay community, which I'm not like saying like, oh, whatever, it's fine. But I got friends that kiss dudes, but it's not. I don't know. They've done a good job of staying out in the public eye, and it makes them. Whose politicians are these, and can you please put them up? Let's do it without the music. That way it's awkward. Where is it at? Right. I don't know. I wish I knew, Jenny. Struggling to pay your bills? Don't worry. Politicians from both sides of the aisle are on the case. This guy's got a lot of flags. So I'm not sure which one properly represents him. But yeah, I mean, this is just they can't be American politicians, you would think. But then they're listening to the club song that you hear. The woo woo girl song gets all the club, the dance floor full. Damn it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of daycare, which would make a lot of sense. And then part of me is like, it's good for the old folks to get up and get the limbs moving. So maybe it's not that bad. But I don't like them partying while the world's falling apart. I'll tell you that. Well, they are dancing. That's right. This man climbed this man climbed his 8th floor apartment window to catch a 3-year-old girl. Wow. Okay. This is some Spider-Man shit. Insane. kids could be freaking crazy. Ooh. You got to do like the controlled swing. Yeah. Oh, or okay. Yeah. The arm cradle's good too. Respect. Nice technique. Chunk her in there. Yeah. He's like, you got to do some of the work, kid. Come on. Good man. There you go. That was a good story. wait. Hold on. Did that guy have a pizza bag? What's going on down there? What was he? Right there. What's he got? Yeah, he has a satchel of some kind. So he was going to catch the. I mean, that's a pretty large child. I mean, I guess something's better than nothing. Anyways, I'm glad that worked out. He's going to catch him in his little bag. Maybe it's a portal to another dimension full of pillows. We don't know. Unbelievable things are happening in Ukraine as we speak. I don't know what that's about, but this is a mole.
Дали, блядь. О, боец, блядь. Та камера є десь там? Заїбісь нанотехнології. Ти по ленд-лізу у нас тут, а чи як?
They have eyes, I'm pretty sure. They don't use them because they live underground. I don't know what that has to do with Ukraine. I guess those are Ukrainian soldiers. They make everything pro-Ukraine. It's like, oh, look at this mole. This mole loves Ukraine. Give more money to Ukraine for this mole. That mole's like, stop poking me with a stick, dude. I can't even see. This bison's really happy. That really is a handsome creature, though. I never would have thought of having one as a pet, but I remember going on field trips to like farms and stuff, and they would have a bison in it because I remember the fur, that weird patchiness. Maybe it was a stuffed one. Where did I go? Yeah, I might have been MK Ultra at a museum. I don't know. I got like 2 more things, and then we're gonna get out of here. God damn. Okay, this is about the border. Guess we missed this.
According to Customs and Border Protection, this disruption started at about 1:30 on Sunday, and this happened at the Paso del Norte Bridge in El Paso, Texas. Now, this connects El Paso to Ciudad.
This happened 1:30 p.m. Sunday. We were covering stuff about the border. We covered El Paso Thursday, I believe, and we were covering Brownsville on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. About 1:30 p.m., there was a mad rush across the border.
Juarez, Mexico, and CBP says that they deployed physical barriers to stop this attempted mass entry into the United States. Why are we seeing this right now? Well, you probably remember the immigration policy towards Venezuelans changed in October, and since then there's been a swelling of Venezuelans in Ciudad Juarez on the Mexican side.
Venezuela. That's another. I mean, look, it's not that like there's not even Mexicans coming across the border. Our border is literally being flooded by a lot of South Americans. Yeah. Chinese, Middle Eastern. And I've always been very much for the whole Americans are built on immigrants thing, but not like this. This is insane. Well, I guess actually it was exactly like this. Well, not exactly, because they processed them through Staten Island. Everybody got a social security number or something. I don't know exactly what they did, but they brought them out. They onboarded them into the country and they said, okay, now go work at a factory. Where are these guys going? Has anybody ever even in any of the committee hearings or anything, has anybody brought up where these people are like what are they doing once they get in here? I wonder if it was public knowledge that all the Irish and the Italian, everybody was going to working at all these factories in different places and joining the military back then. I thought it was. This lady is unhinged. Oh, that was just for me. I'll give you a preview.
Imagine that.
I'll have what she's having. I'm sorry.
I hate this. I hate what you've done to us. I hate what you're doing to us. I hate you, Board of Supervisors. I hate you, London Breed. I hate you, Jenkins.
Hold D.A. Jenkins accountable. Hold him
fucking.
This is actually a one-woman play called Getting to Know My Vagina. So look out for that in theaters.
Hey, man. Fuck. Cowards.
He needs to suffer solitary confinement with that security guard. Y'all have these armed guards. He's walking free.
Okay, so apparently the security guard shot a shoplifter supposedly in self-defense, if I'm not mistaken. You know, our founding fathers had discussions. They used big words, and they fought for each other's like conscious acceptance of ideas. And if things got too out of hand, somebody would throw a glove down. And you'd go outside, walk a couple paces, you turn real quick, fire high, and then you both shake hands and walk home. At some point, that system turned into this. And I'm just going to say, I couldn't be prouder. But I guess you can't really argue the illogical with logic. So people who are wrong and know they're wrong, but they're going to lie about why they're wrong, and you just need to believe it and shut up and quit asking questions because they're going to do it their way. You can't really come at them with logic unless the logic is the type of logic that applies social pressure. So the logic has to be for everybody else to catch on to the thing that's happening, so that then they just have more people calling bullshit. Because that's the thing, is like once somebody knows they're wrong and they keep doing it, then the only thing you can do is call bullshit on them harshly. You gotta be like, no, you're full of shit. Stop it. Stop lying. But one person can't do it. So yeah, and there's no point in even having a private discussion with somebody like that, because they're just going to lie to your face. So that's, I guess I could see how people would get frustrated and start screaming. Whatever. Judicial Watch: Texas A&M receives almost $500 million in grants from Qatar. It's from Breitbart. Hits home because I'm from Texas. According to the recording to records request by Judicial Watch, I need to slow down here. Texas A&M University received nearly $500 million in grants and contracts from the Qatar regime. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton commented, "Now we know why terrorist-linked Qatar has fought us in court to hide its financial support for Texas A&M." What the hell is seriously what's going on here? Which we just found out is nearly $500 million. I would like to look up the actual value of the entire property of Texas A&M, because I'm pretty sure at this point the Qatar regime owns Texas A&M. Records obtained by Judicial Watch under the Texas Public Information Act indicate Texas A&M received $500 million in grants and contracts from Qatar Foundation. Judicial Watch pointed out what appears to be discrepancies between what it is listed in the gift reporting received from Texas A&M and what was reported by the school to the federal foreign gift reporting system. For instance, Texas A&M's gift record for January 1st, 2013, May 22, 2018 only lists a total of $69,844 from the Qatar Foundation, whereas the Department of Education's database shows a total of $47 million from the same. That's a bit of a discrepancy there. By quite a bit. That's it's like 1.5%. No, well, they claim to have given 1.5% of what they actually gave, according to the Department of Education. I mean, I guess the Department of Education's database could be wrong. A document titled Qatar Grants and Contracts from January 1st, 2013, listed the funds received by Texas A&M as followed. Aramco, $1 million, Qatar Computer Research Institution, Qatar Environment Energy Research, Qatar Foundation, Qatar National Research Fund, Qatar University. Oh yeah, what I'd really like to see is a list of all of the Middle Eastern students that are here on visa. The information on Texas A&M's grants and contracts from Qatar was obtained following a court victory in litigation on behalf of Judicial Watch's client, Zachar Legal Institute, a U.S.-based advocacy group dedicated to combating the spread of anti-Semitism. The Zachar Legal Institute wanted to know about the potential influence by the Qatar government's funding of certain Texas A&M university programs, as well as a Texas A&M campus and education city, Al Ray, Qatar. El Rayon. Any grants given to U.S. universities is noteworthy, given that Qatar has aligned itself with Islamic terrorists and extremists. In 2018, Qatar filed a lawsuit to prevent its funding information from being disclosed, Judicial Watch reports, but in March 2023, Judge Amy Clark Mitchum ruled in favor of making the documents public. Now we know why terrorist-linked Qatar has fought us in court to hide it. Okay, they hid the documents. Yes, we get it. All right, the documents have been hidden, but we found them. We found out. We're good. Everybody calm down. It's okay. We are just educating terrorists in Texas. That's a little hyperbolic. This is a list of banks. Breaking 100% of all regional banks in the United States, their stock in the red today for the first time ever. This comes a day after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the U.S. banking system was stronger than ever. Yeah, because if Powell, the only thing that he's going to tell the truth about is when he has to tell us that he's raising the rates, which they're going to do at the very last second. It's unfortunate, but whoa, sorry about that, yeah. Too much. All right, so these are B's. It's pretty crazy. Always about the VJ. I need a warning next time, please. All right. I think that might be. Oh, that doesn't. Hold on. I wanted to make sure I got all these bookmarks out of the way. Oh, we got. Okay. No, I got two more, and then we're done. We're out of here. All right. So this. My first reaction to this is a really good animation, but I just realized that it's now community noted, so we'll look at that in a second. Y'all let me know what you think. This video is CGI. It was made by a fake Boston Dynamics TikTok account named Boston with an M _ Dynamics. Okay, so it is fake. Yeah, this is the thing. Like with AI and everything, you just be real careful because they like the sensationalized fear. They want you to think that everything is so dangerous and powerful and out to get you, and you're such a weak and frail person spinning around on a globe, spinning around in space, doing its best to avoid every object, while somehow maintaining the same star alignment, which is interesting. But it's not always the case. In a lot of situations, nothing's as worse as it appears. And in this case, oh God, they're getting really good at CGI. It's not even that good. I've spotted it immediately. That part right there. Something about that clippiness kind of did it for me. But I don't know. Something there. So I can't even spot it, but I can feel it. It's just not right. Maybe it's the arm. Either way, I'm not saying that there's not killer death robots. We all saw that drone thing, which again, we don't know if that was real or fake from the last episode it looked very real. But, oh, damn it. Okay. And then the last one that we're going to do here. A conspiracy theory. This is probably a stretch, but it says first picture is Anderson Cooper with his brother. Now compare his brother that we were told committed suicide to Kathy Griffin. So, I mean, the chins and the nose, they do this stuff. So, I don't know. Not that it matters, but she's been kind of like very adamant about how Trump needs to not be in politics. So, and him and his husband adopted a baby not too long ago, which was a pretty decent distraction from COVID. But I mean, is it at this point? Is it just kind of like agreed upon that he's a Vanderbilt, or does anybody out there still think, "Ah, that's weird. That's a conspiracy theory"? I don't know. I think that's it. Oh wait, here's an explosion. Then we'll get out of here. I don't know why trucks keep parking on the side of the road and why they're so combustible. But we're getting a lot of videos of trucks on the side of the road getting hit by other trucks and then they just explode. Just boom. All right. Well, I'm closing the show by myself tonight. Miss my partner. Hope he's okay. Drifter, if you're listening. I hope you're not. I hope you're sleeping. I don't know. I guess the world can take a lot out of you. I've had a rough couple of days myself. Botrix is running over there. All right. I don't know. If I have any advice for y'all, it's just I don't know, man. Just like, wait, just don't be difficult with people. Like the whole world is trying to, like, everybody who's not in control right now is trying to survive. Everyone's trying to make moves to like prepare and do things and live their lives, do their best to hold on to some kind of normalcy. And you should be one of those people as well, because we need the world to keep moving The only way this stuff wins is if it takes over. If we all just succumb to it and give up, throw our hands up. Got to keep moving. Got to keep hustling. Got to keep working. Keep building your families. Keep building your kingdoms and your castles. Just be diligent and prepare and take care of stuff, and don't throw wrenches in other people's stuff either, because some people aren't as ready as you are. But don't give up. Don't give up. Whatever happens, be proactive about everything too. Life's a challenge. The only reason why you get upset, and I know this, that somebody gets upset constantly. I had a mental breakdown because somebody killed my pet pigeon's eggs. I live in an apartment. I know better. But I expected those eggs to hatch, and then I went to go check on them one morning, and they were dead. They were gone over the balcony. Somebody threw them and just left them on the ground there. And for like 5 seconds, I had the most retarded collapse of world view, where I mean, everything just went black. I didn't know what to think about anything anymore. It was devastating. And then I realized I was being an idiot, and it still, I mean, honestly, it still hurts. Like I'm still upset about that. I don't know why, but I was really wanting to grow that pigeon. It's like a chia pet, but yeah, I had expectations, and it you know what it was is they solidified my stance to a point where I was unable to react to a change. If I had woken up every morning and expected that nest to be gone the day that it's gone, I'd actually probably have been relieved, because it's like, finally, they threw it off the balcony like a bunch of savage animals. But in my world, people aren't like that. So it came as a shock to me. Boy, was I wrong. But yeah, you can't be like that in this world. You don't expect the worst. And you know what it is? Expect the worst. No, wait. How does that go? This is important as I rattle on here. Expect the worst, hope for the best. I didn't even say expect the worst, have faith in the best. But either way, nothing's going to happen without a shit ton of effort. And you got 330 million legal competitors around you, ready to take your dinner if you don't perform. So perform. And like I said, we are looking for anybody. Like if you have any experience doing graphic design work, if you have any experience doing voiceovers, animation, web development, anything, let us know. Join, follow us on the Erroneous Cast on Twitter for now, and there's gonna be a screening process. It's a legitimate business operation. It'll be separate from the podcast. There's multiple opportunities involved with it. I just don't want to get into it. But if you're a skilled individual, if you're familiar with an I-90 form, hopefully more familiar than I am, because I don't even know the number for it anymore. If you're interested, if you just want to hang out with other skilled individuals, let us know. We have a home for you. And yeah, we got some other things in the works too. As for me, I'm a little sad right now that I missed my friend. This is his. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know this. I know, I'm a little bit more. I did the intro with the animation. Drifter did the music. It's like our little baby. We made that together. That's how we did the show too. He did the logo. I've done a lot of the other stuff. I started doing the links. I do the thumbnails every day. He does the descriptions and whatnot. We got a little team thing going. So him being down and not really feeling it bums me out. But I'm going to see if I can't turn his frown upside down. Hopefully he doesn't bail on me. We'll see. But that being said, that's been the Erroneous Podcast. I appreciate everybody joining us this evening. Me and my currently absent co-host. Everybody in the chats, you've been great. Appreciate all the conversations. Appreciate the likes over there on Rumble. If you haven't hit the like button yet, do us a favor. And yeah, see you next time. I think we're going to clean up our act for the next episode. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Drunk and disorderly. All right. See you then. Bye.
The Erroneous Podcast.